Well, welcome to the Bottomline Library discussion. So this beautiful Friday evening, and today is the 29th of May 2026. We have exactly uh, 2 more days, and then May will be going away. So we'll be ushering in June. So let's just say welcome to June. For those of us celebrating our birthdays in June, we want to say uh, pre birthday, happy birthday to you. I will be celebrating my birthday in June 29th, just about 1 month from now. So I want to wish myself a happy birthday. I know Paul will do. And if you're celebrating your birthday in this June, we want to say happy birthday to you. Uh, but tonight is Friday night from our side. Paul is well seated in his studio, and hopefully the rest of the crew will be joining us tonight. And we have enough information to provide you tonight. So we will ask that you stay with us and be a part of the show as usual. So let me reach over to Paul in England. Paul, if you're hearing me, I want to say welcome and good evening.
Well, my dear brother, good evening, and it's good to be back on the Bottomline discussion. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine, and our weather, not to boil down our viewers with weather business, but our weather has been fantastic yesterday, today, and I mean, you wouldn't believe that I'm wearing short pants, yeah, as I'm sitting, So the weather is very very great, and when the weather gets great, then we in Norway we get great. When the weather changes, then it goes with our temper, So I mean, everybody's kind of happy. At least we can go out and you know. So I'm great. Though I was down last Tuesday with some little cold. Of course, it's the change of the weather, especially like person like me. I'm allergic to this pollen. So when the pollen coming from the trees now, then I know I get a watery eye and stuff like that. But all in all, I'm doing fine.
Well, great. It's good to do. No, this is Friday, and the half of saying say thank God it's Friday because that's the
Mhm.
end of the week. Because it's Friday, and everybody will be looking forward to at least 1 or 2 days of rest, and then get back on the road by Monday. So it's always good to have a weekend where once, and though some people, religious people, will go to church on Sunday, they have that time with God. And to the sports lover will be tuning in on Saturday tomorrow to watch the Champions League final, which my beloved team is also in a final, and hoping tomorrow that will be crowned the champions of Europe, and looking forward to that. And so, and the weather for some reason it has just been amazing. So for the past week, we just been having a heat wave. You People are sleeping with windows open, no clothes. Even a fan cannot get rid of the heat, which is
Mm-mm.
quite fantastic. And this is quite good. And for those of you that are joining us, this is the Borderland discussion. I want to say happy Friday, or thank God it's Friday for joining the program and kindly share the show. We have lot on the plate to discuss tonight. The team will be joining, and we will look for, well, a fruitful discussion this evening. We want to say kindly share the show. It'll be quite interesting. But link for before we get into any musical break, as you aware that a strong Gunner supporter, and people been asking this question, say, how come Arsenal in in London is one of the most loved teams around the world, and it's the team that does not win title, but is the most loved team compared to big names. And people been wondering why. Why Arsenal? Why attracted a lot of Africans to Arsenal? And a guy who support Paris Saint-Germain said one, he can't believe it that Barcelona, Real Madrid, the Man United, the Liverpool, how come Arsenal just overshadow all of these big teams? And they are very popular. Where behind the secret of this wonderful gunners that are having when Arsenal won the title? Millions of
Oh,
people turned out, parade. Then when I turn on the other side, Uganda, Kenya, and even Liberia. So I kind of confused. Why this love for Arsenal? Maybe saying you're Arsenal supporter, you can brief for a little bit before we get into an actual discussion tonight.
well, you see, look, there is one thing about Arsenal, few things about Arsenal, but one or two of them stand out. Number one, Arsenal is a team that is very, very responsible. Uh, in the face of defeat, in the face of victory, we remain the same. We are stable. A lot of people say, "Oh, we feel sorry for Arsenal. After 22 years, they're going to win." Yes, but ask yourself: in the face of the defeat, the problems, the ups and downs, and sometimes in the past, before we even won this trip, in the past we lead a trophy, we lead a table through, or we'll be going, and all of a sudden we'll drop, and people will make fun of us. But we never that never shrink our resolve to want to reach where we are. So it's a disciplined team, very committed, and the next thing about Arsenal is we nurture the players, right? We pick the players from scratch and we nurture them, and we let them go with the talent that we've developed in them. So I mean, look at all the big teams in England or across Europe. One of them must have Arsenal player or ex-Arsenal player. One of them. You see, so we nurture the players. And I mean, I was in a conversation with one friend, a long time ago, and he said, "Oh, the only thing you guys are good for is to to raise the players and train them and then sell them like all your own, but you can win." And if that's one of our qualities, then I love it. I think that's a sign of humility. That's a sign of development. And another thing about Arsenal is that you know we are just result oriented. We believe in what we do, no matter how it turns out. We do it. So I mean, there's a saying that the end justifies the means. So all of what we've been doing, our humility, our hard work to raise players, our and commitment to the game, and being a disciplined team has earned us a spot today after 22 years. I mean, for me, the time doesn't matter. Okay, some things would have been relegated ever since, but after the 22 years before we won this trophy, we've always been in the top five, in the top 10, in the top five. So we have never been relegated. That's tend to be corrected because sometimes things slip our mind. But I don't know that time where we were relegated. In recent years at least, we've always been there. We've always been among the top 10, so to speak. So I think those are some of the qualities about Arsenal that I like, and uh, the big names like the Manchester United, they all came with time. During the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, it was the Manchester United that everybody wanted to see. And after Ferguson left, it was like, okay, Arsenal was, I mean, Man U have been having their own ups and downs, and the same thing that happened to us. I mean, when Arsenal Wenger was with us, things were all right. I mean, we're not at the top though, but I mean, he held the team at certain position, and when he left, yeah, we had a little bit of ups and downs too, like any other football club could have or can have, but we kept our heads high above the tides and we survived it. And here we are today. And who knows? The next Premier League again with my career. And it's going to be a double win for Arsenal because I think PSG is not going to be that team that can defeat Arsenal tomorrow. So the UEFA Championship is just in it's just at the doorsteps of Arsenal, so to speak. So for those of you Arsenal supporters out there, or any other team supporters that took part in the UEFA and you didn't make it, come and cheer us on tomorrow. This is all we can ask you of. Come and cheer us on. Come and and celebrate with us. I mean, it's been 22 long years, man. I mean, from the EPL side, as the English Premier League, and then I don't know when was the last time Arsenal ever won the UEFA. So this could be a double win for us. And all we asking our friends from Man U, from Manchester City, from all across Europe, all the teams across Europe, the supporters, you're coming and cheer us on tomorrow. So that at least give us that day, man. That's a day that we've long been working towards, and let's have fun tomorrow. So I think my colleague Paul asked me just before he went off. I think he has some little technical glitches. So he asked me what I like about Arsenal, and those are just a few of what I like about Arsenal. And of course, I like our players. I love our players. I love the coach and just everything about the team. I love it, and I'm not too sure. And then he was also talking about Arsenal being popular, right? And I will tell you, great leaders, presidents. I know presidents that love Arsenal. For instance, the president of my country, Liberia, right? President Joseph Nwabwaka is an Arsenal fan. Okay. And who else that I know way up there that I lost? I mean, a lot of people they love Arsenal. Okay. And so and another political giant in Liberia, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, who is posed to win the next presidential elections in Liberia. He's also an Arsenal fan. So Arsenal got this charisma that people like they like the team. I mean, and not just everybody, not just anybody, rather, but I mean prominent people as well as everybody. They love the team. So I don't want to make a show about Arsenal, but tonight we're going to have a great discussions when my colleagues return. Uh, Paul is in the background doing something, and I think it's expected that we expect that Jima or Francis will be turning out. So for those of you joining us now, I can see all of your names not appearing on my board, but let's say, um, welcome to Chubbs Renewable Energy. He's always here. I know whether he or she always here representing his company and Chubb Renewable Energy. Yes, okay. I know exactly who that person is. I know exactly who that person is. Now I got it. But so guys, we join you tonight for the program, the Bottomline Liberia discussions. My name is Linford Goe, and I'm sitting in until the rest of the team can arrive. But while we are sitting here and waiting for the team to arrive, we're gonna just be, talking some great things. I mean, if you're watching me and you are supporter of Manchester United, just drop a little comment and say I stand with Arsenal tomorrow in the UEFA. Okay, and if you're from Man City, you're from Crystal Palace, you're from Southampton, you're from all the other teams in the UK, from Bournemouth. Okay, so I came from the south, right, the south of England. So let me start with my southern teams: Bournemouth, Brighton, and Southampton, and where else in the south? Nah, Excel is not doing well. So, but you can support us tomorrow. You can support us tomorrow for the UEFA. And in France, yeah, PSG is playing. So I think the French people will be supporting PSG. But I think there are also other teams in France that might support Arsenal tomorrow, like Marseille and uh, I can't remember all the teams in Marseille, all the other teams. Then in Germany, we got Barcelona. I mean, we got Sarri, we got Bayern München, we got Stuttgart, we got all the other teams in Germany will be supporting us. But let me say welcome to Jima. If he's hearing me, Jima, welcome. And the great news that we just trying to spread is that Arsenal has already won the Premier League, but tomorrow is the yeah, I think you are muted, or yeah, your sound is not coming. I'm just doing this for you to test your equipment. That's why I brought it up. you are still not audible, so work on it. But what my colleague is trying to set up, like I said, teams all across Europe, you should come to support Arsenal tomorrow. I mean, look, we've been away for long, man. We haven't won. You come for us. You can cheer us on. So and Jima, your sound is still not coming off. So uh, I think all the Bayern Munich people will be coming for us tomorrow. They will be cheering for us.
Do you hear
Then
me now?
yeah, yeah. Now I can hear you.
Good. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thanks for having me. How are you, bro?
yeah. I'm fine. I'm trying. Last Tuesday I was very bad, but I'm trying to be good a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it is a good news that Arsenal is going to for the final, and we all happy. The whole of England is behind Arsenal. What happened on the national scene for the Premier League? That was just national, that in-house thing. When it
Hmm.
comes to going to Milan, Europe, the whole of UK will stand behind Arsenal, and we wish Arsenal well. And we wanted to do this double, win the national and also win the European League, the Premier League in Europe. So make them more powerful, one of the more powerful clubs around here. And he's been doing very well. 22 years in waiting, and won finally. That was a massive celebration. Congratulations! I want to say to all the Arsenal fans, congratulations. I'm not
Thank
a
you.
big fan of Arsenal, but I'm just I would like to one and up here. But I would like to congratulations. We see many of these things happening. They deserve it after 22 years in the waiting.
After 22 long years, I mean,
It
Billy or
is.
22 years now. They finished with college.
Yeah, I think my last son is it was not born at the time. He's just 21, so he didn't know what to call Arsenal, but then he celebrated.
Yeah.
Another son who is also in Liberia, he's a very diehard fan or strong supporter of Arsenal. He does not want me to decrease Arsenal, so he going to criticize Arsenal. We don't talk that whole day, so so I know that for sure. Speak to me when I talk about the Arsenal is not pulling well when in the league or that. I don't want to continue with this conversation. That's all right, then we'll talk something else. So that has been the case. I know big hat off to all you guys, Arsenal fans. Thank you very much. Congratulations. That was a very good tournament around Africa as well. One thing that I really saw that, I mean, countries around the world, as in Africa particular, tell me what's so much of Arsenal enthusiasm around Africa,
Yeah, and
Uganda, Kenya, Liberia, you name it, all over the
yeah,
place.
yeah. Paul asked me. Paul said the same thing, and I'll try to just touch on it. The thing is, I think there is something about Arsenal that people like, and for me personally, what I like is the discipline in the team. Imagine 22 years, and we didn't shrink. You know, most of the teams that used to be in the top 10 of the Premier League, when things got hard with them, we all understand that it can be rosy in the football arena all the time. Most of them got relegated. They dropped when they got relegated. They even struggling to get back. But Arsenal, with all the 22 years, I mean, I stand to be corrected, like I said.
Yeah. No, they do good. They do good. That's good.
Yeah, the 22 years, we kept our head high. Or we're always in the top 10. And at some point, in fact, people joke us. They say you're always lead the table. When you're getting close down, then you're falling down to the bottom.
You
Yeah,
know, as a friend of mine that worked with me, he works with me. He said the bad season for Arsenal is in December. They don't perform in December. That's the time they nosedive. The process, their progress goes down because of they don't perform in December. I don't know what happened, but when that December reaches, Arsenal performance always go down. But this time they still firmed and delivered. So congratulations once again, you delivered. Have us to
thank you.
Arsenal
And
team.
God to me saying, I mean, he made sense though. He said probably because of our struggle, or and also people just have empathy on us. But guy, one thing you should know also is that people do let us waste our time on failure all the time. Say, oh, people always they can't do nothing, so I waste my time. But I mean, yeah, you have a point though. Like a lot of people, you see, and let me while we talk about Arsenal, let me go back home to Liberia in the past, long time ago, when Barrow and IE, I mean, in the 80s, man, when do or president coming from the 70s to the 80s, when I and Barrow were, I mean, very strong. We had other teams like LPRC, we have Oilers, I mean, LPRC was still Oilers, we have Batman, we have the Catholic team, what do you call them?
Lean for I beg you, please, man. Come on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. So,
So,
be
but
serious.
yeah,
Leave for, leave
what
for,
I'm
leave for, leave
saying
for.
is that
You tell me. No. Look at the conversation messed up here because I think I
no,
gave credit to us. You talk about man, LPRC, the defense enforcers, all these people. Man,
Uh,
tell me which of our Liberian clubs, which of them made to the Just African League table? Tell me one.
no,
Look, you talking about a club here? Come on,
yeah,
man.
but
Let's
what
talk something
happened?
serious.
I was not actually going that direction. The
Oh,
reason,
okay.
yeah, the reason I mentioned the names is that I will not name of any team those days. I used to
Oh,
get
okay.
one football fee. Yeah,
You look like
I
someone like
used to,
you look like IU supporter. That's why you look in your
no,
face.
I used to go
Okay.
on the football field just to see the football. I will not like, supporting any particular team. But then it happened that the house we were living in, everybody in the house that I remember.
So what you
Yeah.
see? You
So
see coming down to the
yeah,
point.
me being me, even that my family, my parents do I eat them all. So me being me, I always let it go the opposite. So and that particular year, no, I think 1978 or 79, one of those years, I be Barrow through all. So I said, okay, me, they will be all, but me, I'll be Barrow man all the time. I'll be Barrow man. That's how I started supporting Barrow. And the thing was turned around at one particular year where we started beating I almost dissolved. So the teams that everybody support, like Manchester United, no, you know what I mean? I'll go look for one Bella team because I only let it be on the other side, I let it go with the crowd. So
Right, but eventually, let's give it to Arsenal this year. They deserve it, and we still want to say congratulations to the people of Arsenal. I'll tell you a little bit of the. I think Paul got a history of people support Arsenal. Most people don't know the history of Arsenal. Um, what the name Arsenal came from? They call it the Gunners. Some people may
the
not
Gunners,
know. Yeah, Paul has some story. Paul was telling me he's going to tell us. I'll ask Paul. He's a very strong supporter. And by the way, Paul is going to the big event this Sunday. Paul will be there. The Lord Children will be there among the millions of Arsenal fans that will be in storming the hood of London this Sunday. Paul will be among them. But Paul has some history of Arsenal. Why the name Arsenal and why they call it the Guns. Probably stick around. Paul will come back and tell her why they call you those who the supporter of Arsenal. You may not know, some may know, but some don't know what it means and why they call them
no,
Arsenal and what they call them the Gunners. But we'll
yeah.
leave that to Paul when he comes on. He will tell us
I
why.
only know that Arsenal. I only know that Arsenal mean the Gunners or the play. What can keep our gun?
Yeah,
I mean,
Paul has
yeah,
a history. He will tell us
yeah,
because he can literally live a life in London. And I think Northwest is Arsenal base in London. And Paul lived literally over 30 years in London. He knows the history of Arsenal. Those who may not know the history, stick around. The Lord Children will be with us in a couple of minutes. He will tell her. I will ask him, Paul, why do you call Arsenal and why do you call the Gunners? People
yeah.
celebrating, rejoice a lot for Arsenal. And I also agree with the point this our colleague raised here. God told me, he said, empathy and pain. Most people show up to support, to show solidarity to Arsenal. They may not be Arsenal supporter or fans because they suffer so long. They are impregnated with a belly for 22 years. And if you give birth to that baby, put to bed. So you went through pain, man. Arsenal went for 22 years pain. It was having a pregnancy for 22 years. So it got there. Sometimes, doctor will say you're delaying your birthday. You went to labor room, went to a medical theater, won the operational bed, surgical bed, surgery bed, and found out that the baby, the time has not reached it. So they said, go back. It's still closed. It's not there. Go back and come back. We'll
Yeah,
give you
go
some
back, come
medication.
back.
So, and now they were being that pain for 22 years. Now Arsenal gave birth, to put to bed. Now we say this is why I think God told me your comment is quite right. Empathy and pain. People came out to celebrate and show solidarity to Arsenal after 22 years
Yeah,
in labor.
I mean,
In labor.
it makes sense.
In labor.
We
In
hope we
labor.
can keep some of those supporters. After this game.
You begging for it. You need to show some kind of substance. Don't
Oh
beg
yeah,
for support of
we
substance.
I mean,
Show what
what
Man City did. You know what Man
exactly?
City is? 10 years, Pep Guardiola run the city. He had a deal to this place. He's the king of Man City. He's the king of Manchester. He walks everywhere. He's saluted. They celebrate that young man. If you show substance, you got people. This is what matters. Don't be begging
Yeah,
here
but
for
we
supporters.
starting, right? We
Don't be
starting.
begging for supporter, please.
Yeah, we're starting. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show tonight. Just leave your comment and then we'll be able to recognize it. So we recognize Gatume for he's the first man making a lot of comments here, and that's what the show is about.
And
We
by the
come here,
way, go on, sir. Go on.
yeah. But I was just trying to tell viewers that the show is not just us having these discussions and talking, thinking that you know, or for you people to think that we know everything. No, you can also tell us now. Here we are. We're struggling with how did the name Arsenal for this football team come about?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
So if
That's good.
anybody in the audience know, you can make a quick research and drop it.
No, Paul has a good
Yeah,
information. He would tell you like, I was just having a meeting with him when they called. I was the first person to take the phone and call him because I've been warning you guys of Arsenal supporters and fans on this show
I know.
how you guys are struggling to win the cup, a tomato cup. So when you won, this is one thing I like about you, Europe. But you live here, you are very, very honest about your decisions. And if you're patriotic, you're patriotic, but you got to be honest to yourself. So I took the call, a phone, I rang Paul. I said, Paul, how congratulations. Oh, thank you very much. We made it. I said, okay. Then from our discussions, he told me, I asked, I'm just going to be wondering what the name Arsenal came from and what the name Gunners came from. Then he told me, that's okay. I'll leave that to you. Tell my audience tomorrow on the show why Gunners, what it means Gunner, why they got the name Arsenal, then got Gunners. So Paul will tell you. So stick around. We'll let you know why for.
Yeah,
Mm?
I don't know the history, but it's just a translation because
Mm.
Arsenal is the military where they keep their
It
arms.
has something to do with military. Yeah, you're right about
Yeah,
that. You there? You're
that's
almost there. Go on. It's
so
not go on.
so yeah. So you can say gunners. I mean, we saying we are Arsenal, then we are the gunners. We get the gun, so we
Yes,
get
it's
stuff.
exactly. It's almost the same, but there's more behind that. Why it became Arsenal? Why it became the Gunners? So Paul
Yeah,
will tell you. It has to
yeah.
do
I
some of the
will believe that.
military. Yeah, it has to do some of the military, but Paul have more detail. But anyway, quickly we'll drop you some information. Tonight we'll be talking about some topics we have here tonight. We'll be talking about ANC has called on for the anti-corruption committee to investigate the $10 million Mana River, the Peace and Development Project in Foya. That's one of the topic we'll be discussing tonight. Don't go away. Why ANC asking Liberian Anti-Corruption Committee or Commission to investigate the political party called ANC, called this week, after 2 days ago, that the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission should investigate the $10 million Mana River Development Peace Project building in Foya being constructed by the government. So that will be one of our discussion tonight. Don't go away. We'll talk about that. Hey, by the way, we'll also be telling you about the late Prince Johnson. Senator Prince Johnson is off the list of the American sanction list.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
removed.
I found that very interesting.
And now we got 5 more Liberians stay on the list. Why are they still? Who are on the list? We'll tell you who are those stay on the list. 5 more Liberians on the American list, sanction list. You can't go to America. There are other sanctions. When you say American sanction, Mike, do you know the sanction list? The name of that sanction? I think Lynn will tell more about who are those on our list. 5 more Liberians are on that list after Prince Johnson.
Yeah, the Manisky sanction list.
Manisky sanction. You Leave for be telling us who are those on the list and why they're still on that list. There are so permanent Liberians still on the list, and that's one. We're also looking at the $4.2 million proposed budget to prepare us for Ebola and Ebola attack. Government came out. Government is the 4.2 million US dollars, and they put in place to prepare for Ebola. We're going to question that why with the system, the healthcare delivery system is struggling, and now it's just something. It's nothing happening. You just going to put 4.2 million. Why can't you face the system? Why are you waiting for it to happen? So we'll be looking at that. Many other topics will be coming tonight. But anyway, we'll go back to our Arsenal case. Tell me why you became Arsenal supporter, man. Come on, tell me. Linfo.
Yeah, and
why you like about Arsenal?
Well, the same story that
Someone will be asking. Sorry, someone will be asking, Jamal, what club you belong to? Just free, man. I don't belong to any club. But I live in the city.
But by that Arsenal win next year again, then you come to Arsenal.
I live in a city where football is a religion. So we worship any club here. So it's Man City, Man City, Man United, surrounded by Bolton, Hull, and other clubs around. Liverpool as well. They're all around us. So we are surrounded by a powerful club. So that's why I'm not supporting anything. I'm just sympathizing to Man United and Man City. So you see me, I'm in the middle. So don't hold me. Tell me why you supported. Why are you supporting Arsenal, the Gunners?
Yeah, I support Arsenal because it starts way back. I think around 2005 or 6. I used to like the French teams for one reason. The reason I used to like the French teams was because they got a lot of black people playing for them, right? So I used to go with my black brothers.
Yeah. That's good. I'll tell you something about that story. Go on.
And then fast forward. So I still support some French teams.
Mm.
Leon, and and yeah, the rest of them. The third PSG, and I have all reasons to support PSG because our former world best, who is from Nigeria, George Weah, play for PSG. They almost named the team after in Paris Saint George. Okay, those days. So that's how I started loving football. When I was in Africa, I was not really interested in football. Okay,
Right.
my team was basketball. So, but when I came to Europe, I started getting interested in football. And in fact, that's when I started playing. I've been playing in fourth division. I play for the fourth division teams here.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Where do you play that?
no, no,
In Norway.
in my era, the same era, I play for fourth
In
division.
Norway. In Norway.
Yeah, in Norway.
Okay. Quite
Yeah.
interesting.
So when we went to third division, that whole year, our win or draw. We only drew one game. The rest of the all through a year. So we went back to at least fifth. And but by that time I was leaving to go to school already. But fast forward, so then I started also liking teams around, not only in France. So the team I started liking was Arsenal, and for who
Mm-hmm.
they got Thierry Henry.
Terry Henry. Yeah, the Frenchman. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time Thierry Henry was playing for them. So I said, okay, I think I would like the team, and it was basically because of one player. So I started
Mm-hmm.
liking the team, even though they were not doing too well. Then and I also used to like Arsenal Wenger, the coach. The reason I used to like old man was, he will always remain calm. Whether
Mm-hmm.
they school, they can laugh, yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started
Mm-hmm.
thinking, I said, what can I marry? And then, just from criticism that he can laugh and all of things, I started liking the team. And that's how it
Yeah.
developed gradually. And,
Yeah.
I started liking the team. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it was crazy for me, for one man business, Terry Henry. And then after, then Arsenal Wenger became interesting for me. This is, you
Right.
can't lie. You always see,
Yeah,
so that,
just talking about this Arsene Wenger, we give Africans gave him a lot of credit because he brought a lot of things to a lot of players from Africa.
mhm.
He looked beyond the color line and got more Africans, black people attracted to Arsenal because he was the guy who developed most of our African players, and this is why our president George Weah gave credit to him. He developed him when in Monaco, and you could see those are credit. You don't see coaches doing that around the world. They will take you already developed and put you like Jose Mourinho is quite different from Arsenal Wenger. Josie will take you, you already prepare, you're done, you're ready to go in your top prime, you use you. But Arsene Wenger was a guy who prepares a coach, he prepares a team, a players, and get you to your level, to your prime. And that
Yeah,
gave a lot of our guys, that gave a lot of our players the leverage in the European Cups. And I'll tell you another story. Another club that was in they call Bruges, something Bruges, FC Bruges in Belgium. The
yeah,
whole
yeah.
team, yeah,
Zeebrugge, I think at Zeebrugge.
yeah, it's in Bruges. And they call it FC Bruges in Belgium. A
Mhm.
whole club from Cote d'Ivoire team were brought into Belgium. Africa, the whole team, they brought them over, prepare them, mold them to Africa, the European style, and they brought them, sold them out to other clubs. There we see in the likes of what was the name again? Some players came from Ivory Coast. I can't remember most of the name now. That Kalu came, although Kalu, other people came from Bonavati Kalu Bonavati. Those names started coming up. Those Ivorians guys started coming up. They were really, most of them came through Belgium. Look what happened. So most people got attracted, I was told, to Arsenal because Arsene Wenger really did well for the African players, more especially black players. He gave them the chance to grow, and he also supported them. He monitored them. He guided them through, and we started getting to black faces. Then we felt ourselves to be part of the league. We see ourselves in the league. Say, wow, we are there. It's just like you look at the Nigerian, Solomon Kalu. You're right, and his brother called Bonavati as well. There were other names, Bonavati and the other one. Solomon came later. His brother was Bonavati Kalu, I think. The other names came about as well. Like if you look at what was the name again? You got the go to Belgium, Holland, one of the countries where you have people like Tijani Babangida, Sonny Alice, other clubs coming. Ajax, other club in Holland. They also a club. Holland is a country that also always like to a breeding ground for young players and start selling them out. Same style of Arsenal winger. So if you see most of the African players in Holland, Belgium, those guys don't want to put too much money into football compared to places like France, Italy, and Spain. They'll put more money in England as well. So when those guys start bringing those style of bringing breeding players, then it became a big thing. So we stayed. African players have big credit. I mean, big hat off to Arsenal Wenger. He made a lot of good teams from Africa and also from the color, black color. African people in general. I went to Brazil, other places up out of the world. Quite interesting. Anyway, Paul, the Lord should have been. Paul, how are you? Welcome back to the show tonight. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. It's good to be on the living, and I want to say good evening to our audience. I want to say happy weekend to everybody. It's good to be back on the discussion of yeah of beautiful. Look, guys, I listen to you talking about my beloved Arsenal, so I'm looking forward to the final tomorrow, and there will be a cool. I have this feeling. I think Arsenal will win tomorrow,
Yeah,
although
no,
they
no, no,
are
no,
they
no.
are
Don't. We leave that first. We got most people waiting right now to tell us. We a little bit confused with the name Arsenal. Some people know it. Most people may not have the time to drop the comments. Like Linford asked if you know anything about Arsenal. Why did Arsenal got the name Arsenal? Why they call it the Gunners? And I told the audience, people that are following right now, that Paul gave me a background of what Arsenal came from. The name Arsenal, and then they are from northwest of London. And Paul lived over 30 years in London. He knows, he lives, he breathes, he eats Arsenal. So he will tell a little bit of background before you tell us what you what you predict for tomorrow match. I know you guys are going to storm London tomorrow on a Sunday, right?
yes, Sunday. So before I give a little brief history, on Sunday,
Mhm.
Arsenal fans from all over the world are coming in.
Converging.
So they
It'll be how many people you
yes,
heard are in London right now? How many million?
they say there'll be 1 million people, 1 million people at that parade on Sunday. So
That will cover. That
people
will
look
cover from where? That will cover from Kakata all the way to where to Bo other
well. The
side.
thing is, the thing will be North London. So the Northern Park, it will be
Yeah,
shut down, complete shut down. That's it. And the funny thing is, it's not far from Tottenham Stadium. So that whole surrounding, 1 million people expected to be in North London on Sunday. And now what happened is, if Arsenal win on Saturday, that number could triple. So we look and the police will be very busy, very, very busy on Sunday.
good.
So we're all looking forward
No, no,
to
no,
what's
no
going to
bugger,
happen
no bugger
tomorrow.
man taking free, no bugger man getting some free money. They need to work.
No, no, it doesn't.
No, they've been
One
working.
listen, one of the places live for. If you are,
Uh,
if you've been assigned as a police officer to London, your people go and pray for you to go back to them because you are every day busy. London, because if you go into London, if you've been assigned as a police officer to go and work in London, you know what to do. They got a special prayer service for you. Whether you're going to survive it or not, because you're every day busy. It's not like place, yeah, you're every day busy because that place, London, does not sleep. You know that you've
I,
been there.
I haven't
London
seen
don't sleep.
where I live now. I haven't seen the
Oh
police
my
for more than
goodness.
1 month.
Oh
I know whether it
man.
is.
So tomorrow going to be triple. The guy, how many? I know we'll get some. Probably at the end of the show, we'll tell you how many thousands of police will be on the street on Saturday, to keep the crowd under control. But Paul, people are waiting. Tell us why Arsenal, the name Arsenal, why called the Gunners? Tell us what you got
well,
for
well,
us.
well, well, so what happened? There are a group of young uh, factory workers. They used to work in a place in London called Woolwich Arsenal, where they used to manufacture arms. So the group of young men decided to form a football team, and they named it Gunners because they were all factory worker producing arms. So that's how Arsenal was born. They were born in Woolwich, and Woolwich is closer to the. If you hear about Greenwich Mean Time, that area, Greenwich, is Woolwich is just around there. So that's where it's southeast London. That's where Arsenal were born. So when Arsenal, when they formed the team Arsenal, they were good, working class young men. And what happened? They decided to join the football league. And coming into the football league, it was not a proper team. So
at the time the FA took a decision to bring them in, and when they brought them in that year, Tottenham were not happy of Arsenal coming in because Tottenham got relegated and Arsenal took the spot. So if you hear Tottenham and Arsenal, the rivalry came from that end. That who are the young people that have taken our space? And when Tottenham got relegated, Arsenal now from that end, that year Arsenal just dominated. So after going back into the 30s, it was unstoppable. So they always break this, and one of the teams in England that have never been relegated from the day they joined the the top floor football in England. So that's Arsenal for you. They always and what happened? They dominated in the 30s that no one know of. Only you hear about Liverpool in the 80s, Man United in the 90s, but before then it was Arsenal. But the only thing that is lacking with Arsenal, they have now won the European Champions League, but they won the UEFA League, which is the lower one. They are, but just the Champions League itself, they yet to win. So apart from that, they then is when Arsene Wenger took over, they did it impossible. They became the invincible that won 49 games unbeaten. So that's why people fell in love with this wonderful team called Arsenal. That's just a little brief history. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. You have it. That's it. Thank you. Very, very, very good information, Paul. Quickly, Paul, I heard something about the Arsenal winning. Look, I want you to bear with us. We're celebrating Arsenal tonight before we take our main show. I've said it on the show. I'm not a big fan of Arsenal, but if you deserve the flower, right? We should give you. And I think Arsenal deserve flower. We should congratulate them. Many of my close friends and family members, even my own born child, is a very strong supporter of Arsenal. But I just celebrated today. And Paul, I heard that Arsenal won this league, the title, the Premier League, without a red card. Throughout, from the start to the end, there was no red card issued to any of the player. That's a beautiful game.
Yes, that's what they did. People didn't realize no red card at all. And now something else. I think red card and something else are trying to work out. I think red card and penalty that they didn't concede.
No, they did not conceive any penalty. Something like that.
So that's and they went through.
So they played 38 games, the top English 38 games in the English League, in Premier League, without a red card, without conceding any penalty. And that was a beautiful game. So they deserve a big pat on their back. Paul, but while we're waiting, tell us what we got tonight, the topic we got to roll on. So we got guests waiting for us. What do we got tonight?
Right. The thing is, we have the thing about the $10 million project in 4 years. Now, this thing has been going around. The government of Liberia has been lying to people because one day the story will be the president will say he didn't know about the project, and then next minute, it became Mano River Union Hub, security hub, where they would meet to discuss regional conflict. Then the money came about 10 million. Then the president said no, it was 6 million, but people built it that he had no clue. So, and then what happened? The LACC boss decided, look, if anybody has information regarding corruption, they should contact LACC. So the ANC party, Mr. Comey, decided, so okay, we want to investigate because there's no money in the budget for this project. We want to investigate how come this project got into 4 years and no one knows where the money came from. And it was presidential palace, then later it became, so they asking the LACC to investigate. That's something not right. So that will be the talking point tonight. And then also, we'll be looking at how they call it mob violence in Liberia. Somebody can just lie on you, say you're a thief, and then if you are lucky, they will beat you to death. Then if no one comes to your rescue. But then the police does absolutely nothing. So we'll be looking at the mob justice. So those are the things we'll be looking at and other training issues.
And on the international front, there's a good news for Africans when it comes to Ghana. The president of Ghana has just announced that all visitors, all Africans going to Ghana for business or tourism, all you need to do, you have to go online and apply for visa free of charge. When you arrive at the airport, nothing, just go. So it means that it's free entry, almost free entry to Ghana, and I think that's good news for some Africans, or especially those that need those outside of ECOWAS or whatever. So I think on the line of African unity and this free trade and free travel through Africa, we're getting there little by little. Maybe we can achieve it through regional, from the regional perspective, and then it will spread all over Africa. And guess what? Just the afternoon, I was in the supermarket and I saw a lady with one Norwegian man, and then she told me, "Oh, look at African man." And I saw the man I was with the African brother, and the guy showed my hand. Then I asked the lady, asked me, "Where you come from?" I said, "From Liberia." She said, "I'm from Uganda." But I really want to go to places like Liberia and West Africa, anywhere like Africa. And she went all the place. So I said, well, this is why we are working on, we Africans, so that we can have the European system where you can travel anywhere without visa or whatever. And then, she asked me, whether we achieve it in our lifetime. So I said, well, we are hoping. But, we just relating it to what the Ghanaian president said. So that's important, and we'll be listening to
and let me add on that, Linford.
Go on,
Let me add on that too. The situation in South Africa.
Paul, you have him, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, you have to lock. You have problem of coming. You're breaking up.
You say
go on. No, we can hear you. Go on.
I'm hearing you, Paul.
Right.
You go. Yeah, go on now. You're fine. Go on.
Yeah, with the situation in South Africa, they've been after other Africans to get them out. So what the Ghanaians did, the Ghanaians sent their war plane to bring most of the Ghanaians back. But then they put their citizens first. But then something happened when the Ebola, something broke out in Congo and Uganda. The American, Donald Trump does not want any American citizen going back to America with Ebola. So they asked the Kenya if they could build an Ebola center in Kenya, and the guy accepted.
Paul, we're struggling to hear you, Paul. Paul, you hear Paul? We're struggling to hear you. You're struggling to hear you. I think you need to stop using the headphone.
I think between
it's breaking up from my end.
Well, you're not
go on now.
Jamal or Linford.
No,
can you?
No, it's clear now. Go on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, what I say, look, the situation in South Africa, with this African trying to get a lot of African out of the place, the Ghanaians decided to say, no, enough is enough. We don't want our citizens to be harmed. So the Ghanaians went in and brought over 800 of their citizens back to Ghana. But then something happened. When the Ebola broke out recently in Congo, the Americans decided that American citizens that are coming from Congo, they don't want them back to America. So they asked the Ruto, the president of Kenya, you still not hearing me? The president of Kenya, if they could build an Ebola center in Kenya, and he accepted. So you see the difference between Linford was just talking about how can African one group will do the obvious, the other group will do the other way around because of money. So I just want to throw that in there. I work on my earpiece. Why you guys?
Yeah, but I think
I think you need to.
Chadela Brown is hearing you, and I'm hearing you very well. So I think it's between you and
that's fine. Okay.
But guys, if you get your own, let us say welcome, or let's welcome Chusa Contour as well as Musa Kamara. Thanks for joining us, Filikiri. Okay. And who else? Tuan Gray, welcome. So tonight you already got a gist of what we'll be talking about. To whole 30 minutes plus, maybe 40 minutes to talk about football, which was very good because here we don't want to just put people down with the politics. They think it can sometimes play on people's minds. So we need to have some fun. But getting back to serious business. Paul. We Liberians, we woke up one morning and we got news that there was, and I don't know why is it that it is only Lofa, the president of Liberia, come from Lofa, specifically Foya. Then Guinean people cross the Infoya. Then they build something like building Infoya. They ain't get Uno. So we woke up one morning, Liberians. We heard that there was a construction project going on in Lofa. Now we're not talking about somebody bringing one small tree and just dig a ground and chuck it there, or somebody just drew something and stake in the ground, and putting it right. But huge construction. Then when people started raising Abra, but when who be, and correctly so, people will say that president because I only be men that come from there. Then they say, "Can a huge project?" They say, "Mr. President, the building hall is say, I know about you." When they go to the Polywood minister say, "That thing you're talking, we know." But then they push, like push, and then the president say, "Okay, I think I know." They say, "But how much the thing cost?" He called different price. Then the people push again. Then the price went up. Then the president turned around and said, "Okay, I know." I didn't know for, but I know. Now echo what people. Now I'm just trying to lay a funny background so that we can discuss this thing. But it has reached a point where everybody's getting concerned. The LECC has stepped in. That's a Labrador, corruption commission. They are jumped in. They calling on anybody that got information to come. And then politicians are also joining in. Mr. Cummings, who is the head of the ANC, is demanding or asking the LECC to investigate what's going on. Where are we, Jima and Paul? Where are we with this project? What's going on? Is the demand by the ANC proper, or the Liberian asking for investigation? Is it proper?
First and foremost, let me come in, guys. Let me ask a question. This is funny. In our own country, you're asking LCC should be able to investigate this without asking people to put any information forward. They have done it to the rights project, the rights issue with the former government officials involved in. They call them up for questioning without. It's a LCC are raped or something. These guys have been doing investigation without political parties asking to putting forward requests to investigate this Mana River development or whatever project, peace development project in Lofa. Now the question comes from is about the how do you look at it? Does this LACC has the oversight mechanism, to investigate public structure fortune? Do they have it? Not only that, and another question come to my mind will be, show me any investigation that LACC has done that Liberian people can say it is that they've done something good, that we can say, we are proud of their work. They just keep questioning people, but there's nothing. I mean, we expect people say, do you expect guilty result? No, we want fair play. But why you question this Mana River Union so-called project? It's been around it's going to a year now or two, and you asking us to show you some Ugandan proof? You should know better than that. Why ask? That would be my question before I take it further from here.
But the question you're asking about the LECC, I remember back during the Jowia time, this LECC has been struggling. They've actually, when they were established as a commission first, they were only charged with the responsibility of what? Investigating or finding out. And when they found out, they're supposed to make recommendation to the government, to the Justice Ministry, okay? And say, okay, this is what we found out. And the Justice Ministry was supposed to, because they have the Solicitor General, the prosecution, or the prosecutorial arm for the government. But the LACC, according to some interview that I remember vividly, that I listened to, they have all been struggling to have this power where they can prosecute, because they have found a lot of cases and turned it over to the Justice Ministry and nothing happened. So I think they were supposed to, they have been asking, but this is where I cannot come in straight. They were asking for that power to be able to prosecute. Because when they find out cases and send it to the Justice Ministry does nothing. So they are saying, okay, since you gave us a responsibility to investigate, we know the case. So once we got the corporates, gave us the power to be able to prosecute the people. So I think this is where they have been stuck, and I don't know whether they got that power. That I can say, because when they raised that issue, and nothing came out.
Let Paul speak on it, but there's it raised a lot of question here. Paul, you speak on it. I'll have some questions concerning. I may have some doubts about the independence, sufficient independence as LACC, and whether they also have the resources to investigate public funded projects. Like you said, they are limited. So why raises our brows? Why do this? Paul, go on. I'll continue from you if you speak.
Jamal, you asked a good question, but recently the LACC been helping people and sending them over to assets recovery. If you look at the Samuel Tuer situation recent time, that it was the LACC that came up with the investigation and passed them over. If you hear about the REST project with this, I think this, it was the same LACC that indicted them for corruption. So if the LCC have that power to indict you for corruption, so I think it's a good thing that they've been going for the we are government. But then in this government, they're supposed to be independent. In this government, a lot of corruption have been taking place. Remember, we are saying he left for $47 million in central bank vault. The government of Liberia said no, it was 20. Then it went back for then they say yes, it was true, 47 million. Then somewhere in USD, somewhere in LD. So they have been power play. So if the LDCC is there going after the past government, why is it that something that has happened in this government, why the LDCC not taking on them? So that's why the political party came and said, okay, let's investigate this $10 million project in Foya, where the money came from, who built it, and what is it for? Because Mana River Union did not say they didn't have no clue of that project. They didn't fund it. So if Liberia decided to fund something, they already formed the three other countries. But in that case, it didn't happen. So they asking the LECC now to investigate where that money came from, because we want clarity. Who was the funding? Because what happened in 2018, when we became president, he built a 40 now condominium. Nobody questioned him, and nobody went after the final where that money came from to build a condominium. Who gave it to you? So anything that if you are elected and you receive over $250, you need to tell who gave it to you. If not, it will be classified as corruption. So this is the point now that the opposition is asking the LACC to investigate. But then what they did in this one, they wrote LACC, and then the CC civil society, the CC, their Liberia, how to call it, business partners, we'll call them the donors, and the CCUA and all that, to tell them that our eyes are open on this matter, not only in Liberia, but to 1 or 4 investigations. Where did the money come from? Because this government came to power based on transparency. They said the old man, he have a clean hand, he has worked in government for 50 years, and he never took a dime or even a pencil from government office. So he have a clean hand. So if on his watch, a $10 million project in his backyard, and he said he doesn't have any clue. So who built that project? Where the money came from? Let LACC investigate and tell the Liberians where the money came from. Jamal?
Yeah, I got you. But Limpo, I'll give you a chance. I have some questions to ask. Probably you may not be the right person to answer the questions, but the thing is, it's something that we all Liberians are watching up, hearing that we all sit there and say, look, this another Booger case again. At the matter that we just raise our brows, we're going to go investigate, asking LACC to ANC is doing the right job as political party. I mean, this is also a little bit overdue, where they should be asking long before. ANC should be picking on this. Not only ANC, all political parties should be picking on these high scandals, corruption scandal in the country to say, look, we want this to be investigated. There are other cases also. The political parties we said on this platform, others tenure positions being terminated by the government, where we expect political parties and civil rights groups to speak for them. Nobody has been speaking for these people, and they be left in the they are being in the wilderness, and they're getting help from nobody. Now it comes to the Mana River Union project. We're talking about $10 million project. Where do you think this going to end? When the government is the one of the days running the project, they give you conflicting information about the construction of the project, the funding, and who picked the LACC commissioners. You should also understand that. Who picked them all? Where the independence?
Yeah.
Where the independence? They don't have. I can't believe. Let me get this so we can back on this. Do they have sufficient independence to investigate the public construction program, all these anti-corruption scandals, so-called alleged corruption scandal? It should be these people should be appointed or elected or whatever, selected by independent group, and it should be given autonomy authorities. It's not like that. It's just like AREPT. We've been AREPT is what do you call it? The Recovery Commission, the team you just spoke about. That team is only accountable to the president. You know that, right? The president appointed that group. Yeah. So tell me, if the president put that group together, the president dismisses anybody in that group, he appoints anybody in that group. And that those are the people that go after people they believe to be corrupt or people to believe to be having government properties. So why is the independence there, Paul? What is the fair play there? That's the question I'm asking here.
Yeah, it's a valid question, but you might remember too, there's no independence in Liberia. I will take you back. We get three branches of government that sort of challenge each other. It's not there. You see? So this is one thing. But I think what happened here, putting the government feet to fire because nobody has taken that level to tell them since they came to power for opposition to challenge them. This is the first that opposition challenging you. Say, now, we're asking you because you came with clean hand, investigate yourself because LACC is part of the government. Investigate yourself, but we're also putting you on notice with the international community how corrupt you are. So it's not only LACC, but we're putting you on the alert. That means if you don't assess the whole situation that is happening or investigate what is happening, that's what they will use as a talking point come 2029 because they only putting that on notice that we're watching you. You have to explain.
We should wait for 2029.
But this is the thing. But Gemma, if you look at it, it's what's going to happen 2029. What happens is if you have the legislature who's supposed to challenge the executive, the legislature in the executive pocket. Then on the other side, you get the court. The court also in the executive pocket. So who do you complain to? No one. No independent. That's why you see the president go about removing tenured job. When you talk, he say, "Oh, to hell with the Constitution." That's how it looks like. So there's no independence. So the opposition is putting them on a spotlight. That person, okay, let's follow all these things because if LACC does not investigate, that gave them more talking point. That's how I see it. I don't know. But I think after Lincoln, let's roll a video or what front page there about this project. Lincoln?
Yeah,
I'll be very brief. I got to drink a lot of fluid, so that's why. But let me be very, very brief, right? We're talking about independence. And Paul rightly said it, or Chima. This commission, the LACC, was set up by the past government. And they are lucky that they remain in shape until they still operating under this government. So two things you got to look at. This government may not even want to respect the LACC. the fact that they came from the past government, number one. Number two, if this LACC is trying to be so transparent to go after this government, one thing the government can do, be able to do, is to suppress them, cut off all support from them, make them useless, that they can't, even their office, they can't pay, they didn't even get light in their office. Papers they will not be able to get. They can't keep, they can't do anything. So those are the two things that the government could do to LACC to disable them. I don't know how effective they are. Then we talk about the independence, and Paul rightly said it. The judiciary that is, the second, I call it the legislative branch that is supposed to be very active. They all in the pocket of the government. So there is no check and balance. And then Jima, you also said that, the action by the ANC, and you didn't say in a negative term though, but that the action by the ANC is even belated. Yeah, we all agree it's belated. And all political parties should be doing this. But ask yourself, where are the political parties? They all have vanished. Some of them have dissolved into the asset of the ruling party. And this is what Liberian political parties are. When they come out and be active during elections, after elections, they just want to showcase themselves. After election, they all go. The other one, they say, Kim, number 2 or number 3 or whatever position he came. Where is he now? He's in some country as ambassador. That one, the more shot. The partisan can go to hell. Okay? Then you got all the other parties. So far, it's only the CDC and the ANC. The CDC is struggling under this government. They behind our officials. So, there's no other opposition party in Liberia, so to speak. Then we also want to mention I call it pressure groups. The other one they call it EFFL. This one that just wanted to allow himself with Julian Malema. What happened? Right after the government won, he used to make noise. Right after the government won, they put him on the asset recovery team. I know whether he stayed there because I heard you were resigning. Okay? So all these, they are grievance seekers. They are not doing anything. You can't depend on them. So, I think the ANC did the right thing. The ANC is the only standing political, opposition party now, along with CDC. But CDC is struggling under this government. This government aims to totally dismantle CDC. Their base, that everything. That's why in the first place, they destroyed their headquarters. You see it? So, if we depend on opposition in Liberia, that's zero. No opposition in Liberia now, besides ANC and the CDC. All the other parties, they are all in the... See, man, all the people resigning and going to the ruling party. So I hope the LACC will do its best. But the question is, how independent, how functional can they be when they even depend on the same government to support them? Okay? And they talk about the asset recovery team. That was just a group set up to wish harm people. Okay? Because if they want to recover assets, they should be starting with even Baka himself. When he's serving in the Ellen Johnson government and did it one squander, he himself said that they squander. So the thing that is squander, he should be able to account for some of them. But, another time for that one. But, I just want to make it clear that we shouldn't depend on opposition in this case, because no opposition in Liberia now. Only two parties, CDC and the ANC, and both of them are struggling, especially the CDC.
Yeah. You want to roll the video, Jamal or Nico?
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can lay hand on it. Let me see if I can find it quickly.
All right. The last one.
The one from the... Yeah. Okay. Let me see. God, folks, forgive us. Okay, forgive us. Oh, we got to find it. I don't know whether it's this one. That means
You want me to
The
roll it?
Alternative National Congress is calling for a corruption investigation into a controversial multi-million-dollar villa project in Foya, Lofa County. The ANC says the project was secretly funded through state-owned enterprises without transparency or legislative oversight. The project, officially called the Mana River Union Center for Regional Peace and Development, first sparked public concern after area photos surfaced online showing what critics described as a luxury villa complex reportedly worth over $10 million US. Initially, government officials denied state involvement, but President Joseph Boakai later confirmed that public funding was used, calling the project a regional peace-building initiative. The ANC now wants the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate the project's financing, procurement process, and the role of state-owned enterprises, including NASCO, the National Port Authority, LPRC, and LEC. The opposition party says the government's conflicting statements have damaged public trust and raised serious concerns about transparency and accountability. The LACC has not yet publicly responded to the petition. Gerald Konyene, Front Page Africa.
Thank you. We also want to acknowledge, we acknowledge the Front Page Africa contribution. Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to do. But we all heard what the basis of the ANC's request to the LACC to do the investigation, that the conflicting reports. And, I don't think we should have reached this far where they should be even calling on LACC to conduct an investigation if the government from the initial stage had come out and given the clear information. And we've been discussing this lack of information, lack of communication. It can lead to a lot of things. It can lead to a lot of innuendos and insinuations. People just bloating the way they understand it, and you can't blame them because nobody's giving the information. So, guys, I don't know. That's why I asked you, where are we going now?
Listen. The thing is, I still want to raise the issue. You got me corrected if I'm wrong with the issue of Madam Claire Weir project, Hope Village, right? Who summoned her? Is it AREPT or LACC?
It was LACC.
Good. There you go. You see what we're talking about? When there was a question, ambiguity about this Mana River peace building project, whatever you call it in Lofa, Foya. That was a red flag for LACC to investigate, because LACC was created under the Act, which is by the Senate, right? And this LACC is being empowered, being clothed with authority to investigate. If you guys, the question is, do you have sufficient evidence? No, you may not. But then, if there's a question, is an ambiguity of the funding, and the people, the citizens calling for the government to come and clarify on this project, that should be the response. I'm not defining the role of LACC. Should be able to come and say, look, we want those concerned or those in authority, those that are handling this project, to come and make some clarification. We are not investigating you, but someone to make clarification, like the Senate or the House of Representatives will do to various directors and ministers. You can summon them for more clarification. Why are they asking people to summon to give information when they don't have enough information? They should be giving more information than how much ANC will give to them in terms of evidence or proof. They should go in the back here, just like they told Mr. Kumi should prove against himself in his trial. What will ANC give as evidence, right? If ANC just putting together the conflicting information to present it from the start when people raise concern about this project. That's ANC. That's why ANC put it together. So look, we're a little bit confused here. You said this, you said that, you said this, you said that. Can you clarify these things? We want to know what's going on. That's what ANC is asking. ANC doesn't have any proof against them, but they need to go beyond. So, but now they have to put a report together, compile those reports and show to the community, the country, this is what we have. Then they're asking us to present information if we have any. When you were created by an act by the Senate, you have been, the heads have been, I think 14 members have been appointed by the president. You still work within the confirm the president's pleasure. This is what happened, Paul. So LACC is making mockery of our people. This is what I'm telling you. Probably they're sitting there, they are not power enough. They're not clothed with the right power. to carry these things. You don't want to say that we were working. We ask anybody got any information, come and show information. What? Just tell me. You can predict what's going to happen at the end. You can sit there and tell me what's going to happen at the end. Why waste our time to tell us that you should give us information? We want to investigate if you have any information. They should be able to ask people to provide those information. They should be able to tell people, authorize people to bring those information they have any. Like they did to the Madam Weir, Cloud Weir information. Embarrass the old lady for no reason. When they could go after people that run down, they must set up a village or children home for our people. Whatever she got the money from is a foundation. Those you, I don't think what you worry about. At least she did a project. They should applaud her for what she did instead of want to embarrass her. That's the kind of institution they want to set up. Then they're telling us to give information.
And Jamal, you're right. You see what happened here? If you listen to that report there, the project, they started the project. Who did the building? Because it's all go through the PPCC group. There's companies all bid. Who did the building? Now, no information. Everything just upside down. So I think what happened here, on a job we are about the 16 billion that took them off power. I think this is where the politician now, because if you follow what Cummings said, he was quiet for a while because he wanted Liberians. We thought it was wrong decision that he made from the start, that he could not talk as an opposition to give the government free ride. But the fact is that they're telling you that, there was no bidding process. So that means if you bid for a company sort of bid, who did the bidding? It's not there. So LDCC should provide that information. Where the money came from, LDCC should provide the information. So what they done now, they have built or something to label the government as a corrupt government. That is that they know that there'll be no investigation from LDCC. They know that because the LDCC work at the will of pleasure of the government. But you building a case to label them how corrupt they are, because we were told over and over that Joseph Barker, he never stole or done even pen or pencil from any government office. That's how clean he is. But then under his watch, $10 million project that have nothing to do with matter of
now cutting you off. The other day, somebody and myself were in conversation, and we were talking about this as a recovery team. Or why are they so slow? I talking about, look, the asset recovery team is stupid. You can't go, at least the guy somewhere to on the hook now, but you can't go behind everybody when in your own closet, you got questionable things in your own closet. This particular project in FOIA is enough to crumble this government. It's enough to bring this government to its knees. They take it for fun yet, but when it reaches the Americans or all the other donor agencies, they will say, no, but how does this thing happen? Because you cannot have a project and you don't know where the money came from. Nobody knows. We just see the project rising, and no head, no tail. Number one, we got a PPCC, like you just said.
Yeah.
Therefore, go on. It's frozen. All right. Then if I have some technical problem.
So who did the bidding? See,
but Paul, while we're waiting for Linford to come on, let me tell you something. Something is very clear happening here. We all are aware. The newly launched. Sorry for the sound there. It's also the road from St. Paul Bridge is that to Bowater side.
Yeah.
That project was announced. We know how it came about. We know how much money was involved. We know what has been going on. Liberians know about that. Liberians know about that. That project was discussed some years back. But this LECC, like newspaper headlines calling it, it's a government secret. It's a government secret. They know what's going on. But the president was embarrassed. Leadership was embarrassed. They were forced to come up and make some clarification and clear the air. Now we know at some point now, it's getting to the point now that the government need to make some real stand on this. Now, corruption, you telling me we should wait for 2029. This project must be declared because the budget, where the budget came from, ANC is saying, look, you said it's a government, a Mana River Union budget. Now, who gave Mana River countries, Mana River Union countries who gave that fund, how much Liberia donated to this project? It's say allocated into the budget. If it's not, we're seeing supplementary budget, whatever budget you call it. Now, the House of Representatives or the House of Senate, whatever, the legislature should be questioning them and ask you, we did not put any money up front. We did not do this. Where the money came from? The budget, I think we reviewed the 2026, 2027 budget came out. There was nothing mentioned in that budget about the Mana River Union Development Peace Building offices in Lofa or Foya. Nothing was mentioned. So where the money come from? It was a donation, we want to know. Or one country in the Mana River Union contributed all the funds.
No, but the
president... No, that's a clarification we're looking for now. We want that. We want the clarifications.
The president clarified that when he had an interview with ELBC, that Tim Madrate asked him, he said he had no clue of that project. And then later on, he said, oh, some people did it in the government, but he never took any action. So, and then the question was, but where the money came from? He said, oh, it's not be a security hub. But the question was, the Mana River Union contributed, said, no, the Library Initiative. But Library Initiative for 4 countries, and your country is a country that begged for money to start $10 million project that could help JFK. Now, here the situation, he said it was for regional peace. What happened? Guinea just invaded Liberia. People don't let me to use that word, say invasion, but it is invasion. Well now the 4 countries cannot meet at that particular foyer. Say it's a security hub to have this.
No, it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. It's not, the building is not completed. Paul, you know, the thing about us in Liberia, they take us for a ride. We are all committed ourselves because people who sit there right now who are strong supporters of Unity Party government or Mr. Barker will not listen, who don't want to listen to us. For the fact that we are striking the truth, we are saying something that they need to listen to. We're speaking like as Liberians, as patriots, the people or principles. We're not about any party or parties and politics. You know, we know what's going on right here. These things happening in civilized society. Oppositions, civil groups will question this whole initiative. Millions of funds being sent there. Now, there are other projects, other prioritized projects, very relevant projects in the country should be looking into. We have a problem with our healthcare delivery system. Now, with the government just came out enough, we'll go to that topic. $4.2 million being put aside to prepare in case of any Ebola outbreak. We'll discuss that. Why will you do that? Somebody's like, Jamal, why are you asking why? Why you didn't put that money into the healthcare delivery program? Prepare for the fundamental problem we have. Fix it. Prepare. Get the system ready in case any outbreak, any emerging disease outbreak, you can be able to deal with it. But now you're preparing yourself for $4.2 million. That's why they're putting aside to prepare for any Ebola outbreak. You have the money. What can you put in the delivery care system? The necessary are poorly paid. The healthcare workers are poorly paid. Healthcare facilities are not well managed, not maintained. We don't have medications or drugs in our various healthcare centers or hospitals. JFK has not been renovated for years. Redemption Hospital as well. Look, there's been a new Redemption Hospital anyway. Now let's go back to Military 14. Need to be equipped with doctors. We should be bringing doctors from outside to be carrying on some surgical workforce or train our doctors for specialized areas. There are 4.2 million is a lot of money. Now you prepare now for Ebola preparedness. When even the ex-boss of Nifel, Dr. Dinya, is saying there's no sign of Ebola in Liberia right now. Now you making all those big alarm. We got to prepare with you first. Of course, we need to prepare ourselves. But the question is, why putting 4.2 million? When we can't even have, we don't have the malaria medication or drugs that have been distributed all disappear from the shelves in Liberia. You know, they don't pay for malaria treatment anymore in government-run hospital or clinics. But the problem is they are not there. Or they give you prescription to go to a nearby clinic or pharmacy to go get them.
Any pharmacy owned by them?
I don't know that. I don't know about that.
That's all the nurses and doctors get pharmacy. They will give you prescription and say go to the particular pharmacy, and that pharmacy owned by them.
Yeah, so we asking here now, if you're following us, you have any comment about this situation, about this $10 million project in Lofa, or Foya Lofa, where the government is saying it's a Mara River Union Development Peace Project. We're doing the government just giving some misinformation to us. So if you have to share anything, ANC is bringing that feet to fire on that. ANC, the Alternative National Congress, is saying that we want to know more about that. So they'll be bringing those guys to question. So we hope ANC. Paul, what's the good thing I want to know? ANC should follow up to the fullest to make sure somebody answer the right questions that we want to know. Somebody must answer the right question to these ANC questions. We want to know. So it's very important for us. It's very, very important for us, Paul. So ANC should not only stop halfway, they should go further than this and go ask questions about this, all the details.
Yeah, another thing the ANC did, they when they send the communication, they CC all the donors partners of Liberia. They CC ECOWAS. So why will you go that length? So it's like you telling the outside world, look, these guys, they are corrupt to the teeth, because this is like you putting them outside. And it's kind of embarrassing. That's the step they took. And they will not stop. They will follow up. Remember, another thing going to come out again is the Guinea invasion on our land. Politicians are talking, but they need to find out it's going into the 5th month now. No hair, no tail. They will come for them too on that issue. So I think it's a right direction that ANC is taking. They have to hit them hard, because we can be sitting down. This government they've been doing a lot of things on a free ride, but it's about time now that someone put them to vote. So I think it's good. Lean for let hear you, and then we'll transition.
Yeah, thank you, Chima, for muting me. I have my workmate working. I'm in the office, so my workmate just came. But sorry, guys. To be frank, it's difficult to discuss what this government is doing, because it's what can I say? Yeah, because sometimes when we talk, we say we condemn the government, but the thing is glaring. Everybody can see what these people are doing. Why are they doing these things? Is it because of disrespect for the people, or is it just a system is not working, or is it impunity? So for me on that topic, I don't want to dwell on it much. Let's hope that they can do the best they can. I would rather want to see the best out of it. But if the best is not coming, or what can we do? What we here cannot change anything. The best we can say is what we're saying, or the best we can do is what we're doing now, so that we can conscientize the people. The whole thing lies with our voters, our people, the population. And when they see the need to change, they can change. When they see the need to bring in, Jima, take it, I beg you.
Link for share with us. What's the fun?
Yeah, I think it's
just a pay. I mean, you need to say something. Why you're laughing? We want to know why you're laughing.
Yeah, the way friends say you're bouncing there, when the karate show, when the Batman bouncing, you can laugh.
No, quickly. Mr. Mesa, welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, quickly, before we move to the next topic, we're discussing the ANC job order requesting the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, to investigate the $10 million FOIA project, the Mana River Union Development Peace Project that is going in FOIA, and it has raised, ANC is putting forward. The question we have here is, I raised the question, does LACC has the independence, the sufficient independence, and also have the resources to investigate the cases? So that's the question, and yeah, that's how I put forward, and that's my first question. I think if you can answer, or whatever you look at it from the questions that ANC is asking upon the request from LACC, that anybody has any information or anything that you want to investigate, you should also put your request forward, and ANC has done that. So What is your understanding? What do you see? How do you see the whole process? What do you see may happen at the end?
Look, I think it's the right thing to do for ANC. ANC is the party form a macrocosm of the Liberian community. So it's a political movement, and the project raises a lot of concern because there have been a lot of conflicting reports, accounts about the project. The president said that people were putting money together, or somebody. There was a Mana River Union. So, we complain about George. We are having, building duplexes and stuff. I think it's right. ANC as a political institution is doing the right thing, to get to the bottom of it and know where the money coming from. Who sponsored the program? The project.
But just give me, out of your own personal perspective, we've seen a lot of LACC work. They've been doing their job as a group that we should trust, like a rep. And what do you see the end result from your own perspective? What do you see as end result?
Looking at some of the cases over the period of time, the investigation, it has not yielded any desired results. People, that people expect, and accept the government. Sympathizers will want people to be indicted, accused or found guilty. But as far as we're concerned, we all know that the LACC's work has not proven tangible, in the sense that I have not convicted anybody. They convicted some people, but the main culprits, they're all running free. They're all free. So I don't know. I don't think if they are going to even investigate the request proffered by the ANC.
Okay. Paul, anything for Francis before we move on to the next topic? And
I'm the guest tonight.
No. He want to add to you or just disagree. That's the point. We agree to disagree because I raise the issue. It's not like you were not putting it in the hot seat, brother. Do you agree with what the brother is saying? Because we're all looking at the end of it, what's the bottom line? The bottom line will be any result. That's what we're all predicting here. Because
there's going to be no result, man.
Desire, like I like to too, quote unquote, desire results. We don't see that.
No. Listen. Let me tell you one thing.
Now you see, now we go back to the issue. That's what I'm talking about. Go on. Go on. Go on.
We can't just say there will be no result. Yeah, we can't just say there will be no result.
Results in the context of
what desired results. That's what desired result. He said that. I want you to use that word.
What the desired result? When people think, that these people will be held, the government, so to speak, will, the LSCC will find the government.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm coming to. That's the point. That's the point I'm coming to. Today we just heard the news that Prince Johnson have been taken off the sanction list. When
they started first,
when people started talking about sanction 3, I'm coming now.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, go on.
I let them relate things.
You're welcome.
During the early days of Georgia government, when people started talking about sanction, customs will come and say that started sanctioning people. So these people, they in their prime year, everything stay all right for them. They think they're building all these things, they think nothing will happen. At the end of the day, it can take 1 day for the Americans to start slapping people with sanction. They still got 4 years to go. So can't just say, what will happen. The Liberian money and things that they use, that the American money, that they do not agencies money. So in that just something that we can think, the usual Liberian thing, nothing will happen. there will be results. All other political parties, pressure groups, everybody to do what many Liberians should do is to press this case here. There's sufficient evidence about discrepancies. Okay, so there's sufficient evidence. So all the way they've been writing, all the embassies and teams, CC, Cape, all the other embassies, everybody, every major players, and press the case. No, yeah.
Linford, can I ask you a quick question before we move on? Linford, I know you said you don't have much. Listen,
so
Linford, sorry, can I hold you here, please? We want to be allowed to discuss tonight.
When I hear people say this is how cases can die. In Liberia, this is how things can die. We say, oh, but what we'll do now, nothing will happen. No, something can happen. These people will be brought to book. All we need to do is press on the case and something will happen. We shouldn't just say,
I got a quick question. We all giving our own, and you gave your point. I want you to go quickly on this before we move to the next topic. Linford, the biggest financial investigation in Liberia. Do you remember in your lifetime? What is that? Which one is the biggest financial investigation in Liberia from the time of Ellen up to the present? The biggest.
The $16 billion.
Yes. Tell me how far we are with that $16 billion question. Tell me how far are we with a $16 billion question?
Yeah.
Because you want you to confirm, qualify your argument now. You said something going to happen. We just said it. As Francis said, nothing going to happen. And the biggest financial investigation in Liberia in our lifetime was a $16 billion issue that is just disappearing in the thin air from Freeport to the Central Bank of Liberia. $16 billion Liberian dollars got missing, just missing in the tin of air up to present. Tell me what happened.
But listen, there are two scenarios.
They're not. It's all about financial issues here. You're talking about finance here.
I don't want to sound like I'm defending the Georgia government, but this was mere allegation that $16 billion was in continue and a pro nobody, one person did not lay out. Wait, listen. One person did not lay out on that $16 billion. Nobody took pictures of it. But this building that we're talking about in question, the building is physical. We can see it. Even the blind man can touch it.
Linford, stop that. Linford, stop that. I will stop you there. Stop.
That building ain't built by
itself. Linford, stop. The $16 billion was printed. Came from abroad. Listen, probably you don't follow history. It was printed, brought to the port of Monrovia, free port of Monrovia.
No, it was printed in Sweden. Yeah.
No, but why you say that? Nobody saw it. You want you to go open the container and show you the money? What are you talking about, Linford? Why are you saying this?
Even Philip Brown, he the one who brought up the story.
Why you say this? In fact, they told us. You can't. We said whatever the case is, a financial investigation. The biggest financial investigation in Liberia. What is the result?
We are comparing two things here. We are comparing $16 billion that reportedly arrived in continue.
Not reported arrived.
Ordinary citizens did not see it. Yeah. You're not getting my point. The ordinary citizens did not see it.
The citizens saw the money. What happened? It was new money that Thomas Fowler then was dividing. You remember when he became Tifa? That was the money.
Okay, but the question is, when the $16 billion rapport, I agree. I'm with you guys, but you're not understanding where I'm passing. When the $16 billion rap, did we all see it? Yeah, some people saw it. People were dividing new money. But my argument is this building in question is a physical evidence that I can walk there today with my cell phone and take picture. Chima can walk there and take picture.
Let's assume they put a fence, that building in fence. Or zinc around building until it covers the building. So it does not mean that
people say no that building inside there. Yeah, people say no that building inside there instead of comparing it to
the container. There was no money in that container. So later there was no money in the container.
I do not have to see it. But leave for you now. Have you seen that building? Have you seen the building? No, not everybody.
If I go there today, I'll see it. That building, nobody can move that building.
So have you seen it now?
What do you mean? How do you want to go see it?
I could take that AR. Like AR print.
Yeah, it could be generated. AI generated. Is that possible? Yeah. Go on, Paul. Yes.
Princess said something which I tend to agree with him.
Go on.
There'll be no head, no tail to the investigation because what? This government is a government that does not respect rule of law, so they violate anything. And those hungry lions at LACC, they don't want to get sacked, so they will not do anything.
But Paul, let me ask all of you one question.
Go on.
Let me ask all of you one question.
Go on.
They see money business here. Don't you think it was very easy for Joe to say no money came in the country or within Prince $16 billion compared
it's not
to
possible.
It being very easy for this government to deny?
Let leave for lay.
Paul, let me speak. Paul, give chance to leave for please.
Yeah.
Please, go on.
Don't you think, and just creating scenario that we're going to discuss, don't you think it was very easy for Joe to say we didn't print, because they deny that we didn't print $16 billion and brought it in continue to the country, they would deny it. But as compared to it being very easy for this government to deny that there is no building, we didn't build any building.
Look at that scenario. It won't be hypothetical. Listen, the thing is, look, the money came, they got a bit of lady, the team, the container were put on the ship. It came to the port. The people who sent it from Sweden, the company from Sweden, that I live at Tuma, just not too far from where I live, to send the money.
Go there, girl, duplicate that money.
Be serious, man. God, let's go on a different topic.
They send the money.
Let me add on to what you said. That two sets of money were printed, one on the LA and one on the WIA. So both money came into the country. There's no conspiracy thing on this one. It was true that money entered the country.
The early one, we had admitted that it came. They admitted it.
Yeah, so and you remember when it's coming closer to election, that's when the government print money. And the mutilated money, they will not get it off the market. That's the game they have been playing with the Liberian people. So we all know that. So there's gone election, new money came in. The people could not get hold of that money. And Samuel toward them went saying, they were doing this mop-up exercise that Liberian money ran out. So they took $25 million to infuse it into the economy. Remember that? So it's the game that they play with the Liberian people. That's a means of stealing money. So we all know that the money will enter, the citizen will not see the money. At the end of the day, the lawmakers and the executive will share it equally, and then the poor will suffer. That's
okay. Guys. Go on. Finish. Make a last comment and I'll take to the next topic, guys.
Just 30 seconds to me. Where you think all the boys got the money from? As soon as they took over.
Oh man.
All the bought them
new money.
Coachy bought a house about 50,000 on
16 billion.
They all where those police used to do their buying something. He bought a whole house.
No. I say he bought another house down 16th
okay, there you go.
But he said as soon as they took over, they started buying, but they are not printing the money yet.
No, the early money came.
The money is printed. That
early money was in the country.
Two different sets,
but it looks like you're not following history. Anyway, guys, let's take a quick break. Guys, let's take a quick break. You come back, we'll go to the next topic. We'll be looking at the, how do you call that? The Global Magnitsky Act that pay for play. Prince Johnson's is off the list. Who next?
Yeah, who you cash?
Yeah, so who next? So we will come back. We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll come back. We'll bring you to Prince Johnson was on our list. We were 6 Liberians on our list. Prince Johnson has been taken off the list. And we got 5 more Liberians. We'll tell you who are those Liberians on that list. But let's take a quick break. I will tell you who's on that list. Then let's go to what we got here, guys.
In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Cholo Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.
Welcome back. Thank you very much. The Lord Cholo Play will be coming on Sunday. Before we leave, we'll tell you who comes on tomorrow, Saturday. The story will be here tomorrow as well. Will be our man Francis Monomens will be here tomorrow. We'll play that later on to you. But let's go to the story of the Magnitsky Act. The late Prince Johnson, who died in 2024, was on the list. American sanctions for pay to play or play to pay, whatever you call it. It has been taken off the list. Gentlemen, tell me, let's go on. Why will it, after a year, now they remove him from the list? Why keep him a dead man? Who will investigate the dead man? You tell, I want you to check around this. They will go to who else is on that list. Paul, the late Johnson, Honorable Johnson, is off the list by the Americans. Why were they keeping him after he died a year later and they still taking off now? Will you go to his grave and investigate him? Or put sanctions on him or something like that? Then you not to go to America or whatever? A dead man?
The dead man cannot judge for himself. He's not here to, so we cannot hear the dead man's story. So they have to remove him from the list. See, maybe when he's going to hell or heaven, then Jesus or Satan can investigate him, but the dead cannot talk, so the dead cannot defend himself. So they have to remove the dead from the list because there was sanction put on him, and he been gone. So
Linford, you knew the late Johnson. You saw him. I know you didn't work with him. You saw him a couple of times. You interacted with him during the course of the middle of the height of the Civil War. And he said something very famously statement at his before he died, he was a pastor, redeemed pastor. And he said to this, I can quote, American sanction is not a storm for me. I'm standing strong. What does that mean? What does that mean, Linford? How do you interpret that? Because the sanction also was all over the place when he got sanctioned. He said that to the congregation, and the everybody rose to their feet. I'm applauding him, saying that that's the man himself, the strong man. What does he mean by that?
Well, I think that statement could be interpreted many different ways. Number one, that he didn't bother about the sanctions. America could sanction him, how many times they want, how long they want. He was saying on Liberia, he could survive in Liberia. He was working. He was a senator. He had his church going. He had a university running. So he didn't need anything from America. But anyway, according to how I would think, with respect to interpretation of that particular statement. And another one could be that he's not going to America. So whether America sanction him or not, it doesn't matter. So, yeah. That's why he said he was a strong man. He was not depending on anybody in any case. He was not depending on America, not like some of the other politicians who, when they are not in government, when they have no option, they run to America because they got nothing to do in Liberia besides being politicians. Prince Joseph felt that well, I fought war here, I've been here, I was born here, I did everything here, and I'm working, I got my everything. I'm a strong man standing. So I mean that I don't know what he meant, but our own interpretation, that's just it.
Yeah. Francis, you said something before I started going to Paul. You said the dead man who investigated them is gone. They should get out to waste the time. Now they call it post-death sanctions. Said that his name was on the list for almost a year, and for exclusions and stuff like that. List after, I mean, he died after a year. Why will America? Probably you work around the American people, you know their attitude. Why keep a man who's late? It's not your country. Why will you keep his name on the sanction list?
No, but I think what they would have done is they could have done anything, but if sanctions were imposed by the country like the Ivory Coast or some other traditional French-speaking countries, they would have put chin around that grave.
But that's good. I'll be like, yeah, but he was not Liberian that put sanction on him, so why would they put chin on his grave?
Probably American was contemplating on entrapping his spirit, but they don't believe in that, so they had to keep me off the list.
But sometimes you guys live. I want to take the round, guys. It's up to you, Francis. In this part of the world, they investigate you in depth. You happen people from the what is this war? The war in what's the name again? The World War II. The massacre.
Nazis, they had massacre. The Nuremberg massacre.
Okay. People that died, they stay investigated in their death. I mean, post-death investigation.
But the thing is that his sanction, his sanctions were not actually related to
the investigation. But they could put something on property, right?
War crimes or something like that was financial crimes, or like you were paid for play, you were manipulating, the system able to get feedback, payback. But what I'm saying that in the sense that what Leaford said, that sanction had a huge impact on Prince Johnson.
Okay.
Prince Johnson could not travel out of Liberia. He was, prior to the sanctions, he was something the ECOWAS parliament. I think he was
for defense.
Yeah, he would have had a delegation at a point in time after we are.
And you're right.
Then the sanction came, so Edins knew how to take over.
And he was head of the defense in his Senate as well, and he will ask you to relinquish that position.
The Senate, and he was part of the ECOWAS committee on, I think, security or something as well.
Yeah.
So it had a very huge impact on him. He could not travel, because he was being arrested. So whatever it is, the sanction did have some impact on the late Senator Ben Johnson's life.
Guys, quickly, I want to, before we go to the issue of the other rest of far Liberians stay America on the Manigiski, whatever name you call it list. What is in this sanction? People will be listening to our family and say, what are all the American sanctions all about? What it entails? What you should not go to America? You've been denied visa. What else is in there? What the sanctions? What the impact?
I mean, that what it is. Basically, you, your wife, your close family, and your immediate family cannot go to America. But unfortunately, most of the people got their families in America. So, their wives can travel to America. Their wives can. It don't have to travel to America. Most of them, their wives come to France, come to Europe all the time. So America is just, and I know, it's not just one part of the world you want to go and see and other things. So it doesn't really impact their life, So yeah, I just want to add that.
Okay. Paul, the list of people. Tell us those the 5 more people that stay on the American list. Francis, Paul, you seem
you almost tend to contradict yourself when you say that. Yeah, Francis, you almost tend to contradict what you said earlier on by saying that
I tend to contradict by
sanction impacted. No, tending means you're actually doing.
Prince Johnson in particular. Prince Johnson did not go anywhere.
So why would be Prince Johnson in particular, but not other people? But anyway, to address just to comment on
I can give you an example. I know people, I don't want to call it niche, but the former minister of presidential affairs, his wives travel to France all the time. The other people, I know their wives travel.
Prince Johnson family couldn't travel?
Where to go?
No, I'm just asking.
No, they're afraid.
Okay, but they are afraid, but it mean that they get travel. But let me get a comment
on they have never traveled. Because
they don't want to.
They never tested the water.
Yeah, but they were not sanctioned as well. It was Prince Johnson who was sanctioned. The Magnitsky sanction.
No, the sanction. The sanction your family do not.
Okay, so then why the other people, the former minister you're talking about, why he was traveling?
Probably they don't know.
She's not going to America. She comes to you all the time.
Okay, but then Prince Johnson could also travel to other countries.
Guys, that's okay. Yeah, that's American sanction, guys.
Yeah, let me get address what you said. The question you asked for, the impact of the Magnitsky sanction is both psychological and physical. You see, America, our connection to America as a country, Liberia as a country, and our connection to America. So all the bishops, they got their children over there, they got their children. I know one of Prince Johnson's daughter here, okay? She's not in America, so she's not affected by any sanction. But if Prince Johnson got his children in America, which all baby shots in Liberia want to do, that will impact them greatly. Okay? But if they want to go somewhere like maybe Ghana, I don't think the American going to follow you because it's American sanction, not Ghanaian sanction, not Sierra Leonean sanction. But the morale, the psychological part of it is the morale that, this person is sanctioned. Anywhere you go, people pointing finger at you. I think that's one of the effect it can have on people. And most of the people will take their money from Liberia and go put it abroad. And all these things, when it's sanctioned, you will be checking on all these things about you. You will be on the radar of the Americans. So everywhere, any move you make, especially concerning America, don't know. So I think that's just some of the effect of the sanction, the psychological part of it. And yeah.
Okay. Next. Thank you very much. Thanks for that part. Quickly, I want to tell you why the 5 Liberians are on the list. I will give you why they're on the list. We got the first person is Harry Vani Boto Nambi Sherman, senator of lawyer, designated lawyer, who was one time senator of Grand Cape Mar County. In December 2020, he was sanctioned for receiving bribery charges and facilitating payment linked to a disputed mining concession at $950,000 scheme. So he's on the sanction. Another one is Seema Sereno Cephas. He said, according to them, he says former general solicitor, designated August 2022 for alleged public corruption. How do you do that? I mean, alleged public corruption, that's looking bulky, man. What probably guy you explain what you call public corruption? What is that? Sereno Cephas says alleged public corruption. That's why the American sanctioning for. Can anybody explain to me what public corruption means?
No, I don't know the Americans can explain
that. Nathaniel McGill, former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, who was President 2020, who was designated in August 2020 for alleged public corruption as well. So those are corruptions. Former Managing Director Bill Treasury for alleged public corruption. Jefferson Tambakuji, former Moreover Mayor, designated corruption, public corruption, serious human rights abuses. Then those are the people still on the list. So, guys, let's go deep into this. 2 questions I want to put forward, guys. Why Liberians are not taking American sanctions serious, they stay letting and voting or appointing or say hailing these people. Second, can the government of Liberia put this guy name forward for a further investigation if the American government is sanctioning them for out of accountability or transparency. And everybody can take it from here.
Okay. The first question I want to address is why are Liberians not taking the American sanctions seriously? That, but Chima, it's like we are friends. Me and you get problem. You did something I like you. I said, okay, Chima, I'll not go to Chima Hall again. Chima, I'll not come to my hall again. Why would Paul take it serious? Paul, you and Paul ain't got problem. So Liberian got no problem with these people. It's America.
But no. If Paul was living with me or living with Paul, you should concerned because Paul is with me or in the house. So why I should not be concerned? If you are the one that's giving me like some support, and Paul had problem with you, and Paul misbehaved, right? Mm-hmm. And he called me. So Jamal, I'm not allowing Paul to see me anymore because he's misbehaved. I know you're my big brother. I should tell Paul to behave.
You call
no, I know. I should summon Paul for more investigation. Paul, what happened? Why I'm not doing that? That's the question.
Yeah, if you want to, but that does not serve any relationship between you and Paul. The problem I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make here is the Liberian people not thinking the way you are thinking. That this is your government official. Another big government somewhere say the person is corrupt, and so they trying to punish him. But our people not thinking that way. As long as our government official, the bureaucracy or all the rest of the guys can give small thing to me, a hungry guy, I need my little thing. I'm not proud. In fact, it's in my interest that bureaucracy or whoever is on the list can give me something, or he got something at least I can survive on. So our people are not thinking that way. So to answer that question, the Liberian people not thinking that way. They even want to know why these people were sanctioned. They want to know.
Yeah, this will be the last question. And one of our followers just asked if I can ask this question. But you answer this question, guys. Paul, explain that. I'll bring that question back for Alexander Clark Collins. We'll ask that question later on. Here's a question we should ask you guys on the platform. Why Baka appointed Brana Somakai? Anyway, we'll go back to that. Why this guy was sanctioned for $1 million from the military budget and he's still paying it and he's still being given a job. Quickly, we'll go back to Paul. Now, my question will be to you is this, Paul. Straight point. If Americans have a reason to sanction somebody, why can't we investigate that person? Because there's a proof they have, don't they?
Okay. Jamal and the rest of the panel list. You know, we have a lot of thieves in Liberia, government officials. They are the biggest thieves. They are rogues. So, if one person steals and the American found out that this person, they talk about public corruption, that means stealing the public money. The bureaucracy, the Nathaniel McGee, the list, the Jefferson Coach, the list that they give. That's stealing public money. They stole from us. Now, the other group have come into office, they could have taken that case. But the fact is, they also, they are rogues, they are thieves. So that's why they cannot take it on. You see? So me and you in the same society, how will you take it? I won't take it on because we're doing the same thing. A rogue will not go after instead of rogue. That's it. This is TV situation we're talking about. So that's the whole thing about it. Now, let's go into the legislature. We've been hearing the things that Thomas Father corrupt to his teeth. The government came, he sat with Thomas Father. He's on the other side. Why they couldn't go after them? Jeremiah Kuhn would learn that he was on the Ways of Me committee, that he became millionaire overnight. So how on earth this guy would go after the other people?
But listen, but this is started from early in time when these people being sanctioned. The first thing government that got sanctioned was from Ellen, before Georgia came in, before Boca came in. So why was that Ellen being liked and being favored by most people outside? Would have started the transparency. I mean, bring those guys when they for I think it was on Ellen, right? There's Sherman got sanctioned. Is that correct?
No, Honor George.
Sorry. My apologies. Honor George. 2022. Sorry, 2022. Honor George. So all the sanctions happening on George to Boakai. No, Boakai did not have any. All honor happy on George, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, honor George.
Oh, honor George. Sorry, thanks for that correction.
So far, Boakai didn't stay off the hook here. That's why they're moving some people. They late for, so they're moving Prince Johnson and they'll be replacing them with some people.
Francis, what do you think? If you were there as a person, will you investigate these people or ask them to kind of clarify?
Yeah, but the thing is that most of the sanctions, the American government have not provided any kind of evidence, substantial evidence to say, hey, a sanction, we sanction, what you call it, a Paul, but we sanction Paul based on pay to play, his interference in legislative process, his interference in the elections, popularity. That's what they say. So they have not. So the government are about. You cannot go and litigate a case or action against anybody without proof to you. I mean, I think if I don't know if the American government will provide the evidence of to enable any president to press charges or to pursue two cases. So so it's kind of difficult, it's kind of a tricky situation.
Okay, so, let me comment on that.
But Francis, the thing is, these guys been indicted by the Americans. It left with the Liberian government to ask the Americans what the information you have on the people, because it's concerning our money.
Yeah, but even the same people,
our money.
But even that Paul, even the same Mike Gay was on record. I'm no fan of the guy, but Mike Gay and Bill Tuare publicly asked the Americans to provide the evidence, take them to court to provide something. They have not done it.
No, but they would not give it to the guy who stole. Say bring it. It left with the government. George Weah government, the solicitor, the Attorney General of the country, was the one to ask the American for that information, because they needed to start a prosecution and it refused. You see,
Francis, let me ask you.
The American show this. They just seeing it.
Francis, let me ask you. Let me ask you one question. I come and say, Francis broke him out. He took my shoes. Then he said, "Oh, bring the shoes to me. Go sue me. If he didn't allow you, go sue me." So Bertrand and McGay was sort of go sue the American and say, "Bring your proof." But you can't go. I can't accuse you.
Who to go sue where? To which court? In Liberia?
Oh,
where? In America?
Anywhere.
When they can throw cases out like that.
America has its own
judicial
system. America is not some most of the treaties are not party to most
but
of
America is not above the law. You know, people in America can sue the government.
I mean, that's different thing.
You are saying that because you are asking them to
remember the guy here, they call the former running mayor, Joseph Nyima Bargi, Maya Nukwe. And he went to America to sue America on allegation on him.
Yeah.
He did.
You can sue America.
What was the result? What was the result then?
Yeah, they can't tell me why.
At least he took it to America to sue them. So
Did
he go or he sent a lawyer? He pay a lawyer or firm.
Francis, whatever means.
Guys, let's take a quick break, guys. Let's take a quick break. We will come back and
I mean, you are the one that put sanction. They didn't get that.
We'll take a quick break. This is a popular demand for one of our followers who why Brian, some kind of controversial politician, security officer, who had involved $1.1 million deal. I mean, corruption, misapplication of military funds. Went to jail for 2 years, but was asked to pay 50% of the money. Then you can go out, but he refused. They put him back in. George Weah came to power. Granted, executive clemency. We'll discuss that in a couple of minutes. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, gentlemen. That's the last topic. Then we'll wish you a happy weekend.
Welcome to Your Story, where real lives meet
raw truth. I'm your host, Francis Monamenza, and every week I sit down with remarkable guests to uncover their journeys that shape their lives, the struggle they survive, the breakthroughs they earn, and the lessons that can change your life. This is not just a conversation, this is your story, a life experience that goes deep, gets real, and leaves you with something to think about long after the streams. Join us every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, live on the Bottomline Liberia. Don't just watch, be a part of the conversation, because every story matters, especially yours.
Right, Liv, I think I have something to say before we move on to the questions. I mean, what do you got to share with us, Liv?
Yeah, you said we were going to discuss a lot of it, but I really want us to briefly discuss this mob violence in Liberia because.
Oh yes, Paul, talk about it. Sorry about that. Let's roll that, and then we'll go to the Brian Samka case later. What do you have to share with us?
Okay. This is something that is very serious. Paul touched on it briefly. It's not in the case of this particular gentleman that we are about to highlight, but it could be also that people will lie on somebody. Imagine Monrovia is such that you're walking in a corner and you don't know your way. We don't have a address system in Liberia. So I'm going to find Paul in Planco or Satan, or I don't know Paul's house. So I'm asking people, well, I'm looking for one of my friends called Paul Trubet. So somebody said, just go pound on that big plum tree and go behind that greenhouse. And I'm walking at the person. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, somebody see me. Man, what are you looking for here? I said, oh, I came to look for somebody. Who? What the person need? I said, then right away, they say, oh, my man, they made a stream, man. 2, 3 men gather around. They start shouting. And then all of a sudden, somebody hijack you. No investigation, people begin to beat you. So, and we have seen these things happening. And besides that, there are other people who are also involved in criminal activities. But by the men coming and attempting to steal or even stealing does not make or give you or the bystanders, the ordinary people, the right to just grab a man and beat him and kill him. We saw it on live television where 2 boys were killed at the red light area there, or 72nd area, broad day on camera. Nobody could go there to rescue them. No matter how much crime they committed, you and I live in the Western world. If somebody commits crime, they will come and arrest you. It's the police. Call the police. The police is the one that has that power to arrest and charge a person. But we in Liberia, we can do it. And a lot of people have become victims of this. Okay? So I think it's getting to the extent. Now, there's I had a still picture for it, but then my computer did something and went off briefly from the show, and when I came back, I lost everything. So I'll just show this small video. I'll call it off. But just to let you know what we're talking about. So,
gotta be careful. Public violence is not.
Yeah, excuse for the content. I say it'll be very brief and I'll call it off. Yeah, it's very brief. I'll just call it off. Okay, so let me see.
I don't think you want to run a video here. Leave that picture like that. Stop that. Leave, don't play this.
That's why I just listen.
You should not play it. If you play that thing, they're going to block you.
I just wanted to let people know what.
Yeah, but that one, they will block you. They will block you. Definitely will block you.
Yeah.
If you play it, they will block you.
Facebook will not block us because we're trying to highlight human
interest. Then. All right, then go on.
Highlight human interest story. we're not making fun. This is something that has to do with our safety and human interest. So what we're saying here is that taking the law into your hand, you tie the gentleman, you tie 2 feet on the iron. That place looks like a garage. They tie the gentleman 2 feet on the iron, and then they beating him with this cable. Okay, and he's saying that no, I did not come to steal. So who are you to determine that this guy came to steal? Or even if he came to steal, who are you to pass judgment on him and prosecute him and punish him? So these things happen in the corner everywhere. Recently, we saw in one of the most populated areas in Monrovia, I think it was a red light market, where they naked a woman. They said because the woman dressed in a provocative way. So if the woman dresses like that, why can't you call her aside and say, "Oh, listen, come here." Or sorry, the way you dress is not good.
Saudi Arabia, moral police. Go on.
Yeah, the way you dress is not good, is bad. And then probably put clothes around her. But they naked her instead. Okay, you say the woman dressed bad way, then you naked her again. So who is the wrongdoer here? So that's all we want to talk about. And the previously we said that, I think one of us said that the police does nothing. But this one, the police have arrested 3 people already. And I think there's a manhunt for the rest of the people who were there that facilitated the incident. So we're just calling on our government to see what best they can do to curtail these things. And citizens are the ones doing it. So besides calling on the government, you the people should know that you do not have the right as individuals to do these things. So I just want to highlight that. I'm sorry for the video, Facebook. Do not block us, but we are only trying to highlight what we're talking about.
Thank you very much. That's clear. So, Paul, you want to say something about that quickly?
No, the thing it just sad, Jamal. It's sad to see our fellow Liberians killing their fellow brothers and sisters for something that is not. I mean, to steal, that way you take somebody's life and then with iron, it's just wrong. And these are the people that the government sort of go after and give them harsh punishment to deter these things from happening. You see, no one, imagine we live in a world that we don't have laws and rules and orders in any society. What we're not back in the school days where when you can beat somebody and then the person, no, those days are gone. So I don't see why this thing happening. I think the government of Liberia need to give it harsh punishment that when other people see it, no, they will not try it. You cannot label somebody as thief. A group of people beat that person to death. They even burn them with fire. Those people should be sent to life imprisonment when you do that. Who are you to take the law into your hands? I mean, it's just wrong.
Okay. Francis, we talk on mob justice here, where people have been wrongly accused and whipped, beaten. Want to comment on this before we move to the last topic?
Now, only wrongly accused. Some people actually are caught in the act, but
Okay.
Look, there have been a series of conscientization of the people in about mob violence. Yeah, I hear a couple of them on the radio. But here is the problem. The problem is the enforcement of the law. We are often plagued with selective justice. People they get involved in these things. Peter Paul, who knows the police commander at the depot, will go and free him. And most of the people, so they become they escape and and they look for them forever. So I think the law has to be strengthened. There should be more severe consequences who are involved in mob justice. They should have probably the minimum 5 years to 10 or life imprisonment. Then I think we see some cessation on that matter, on a particular gruesome act. But nobody has the right to arbitrarily just met out justice. Allegedly, we see somebody they killed another young guy. Just 1 minute before I'll turn it over to you, Jamel. There's a young guy in Barnesville. The guy went to, he got on the motorbike, he got off, went looking for, going to somebody, and they see me, the people, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
You see, the same thing I'm talking.
The man said, oh no, I'm going to this person, so person. And just group of guys just started to raise alarm and people not asking questions. So and just jump on the guy, and that guy was beaten to death. So what comes to it? So the government need to strengthen the law. That's it. I'll have to say. Life 5 years imprisonment or life imprisonment.
Right. Yes, it's a very touching story, and it has to do with life. So we also said that these quick video we just played to make sure that people need to be very careful. Government need to step in wherever you are. It can be anywhere in the world. Lives have been lost. Lives have been lost because wrongly for no reason. Consider a person committed a crime. I think we got law enforcement officers to look into it. Instead of mob justice won't solve the problem. And this is why we want to highlight this before we move to the next topic. Gentlemen, now the last topic for tonight is a popular demand for one of our followers, our listeners, saying, there's a question here. Let me put it back on if you mind. What was the topic again? He said, guys, question is, what was the question? I lost it. Can somebody, okay, I got it. Somebody put it, I can't find the questions anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you find it for me? I lost it.
Yeah, I can find it.
Okay. I can't find it anymore. There's a questions about one of our politicians, also security officers, and I got some of the history about it. While my colleague is looking for the question, it says this guy is called. You got a question, right?
Yeah,
I hope the guy has not deleted it.
No, it's here. It's there.
You see the question about Brani Samukai?
Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah, I found it. Yeah,
I put a style up so you go there. Yeah.
The question is, Jamal, can you ask why President Boakai appointed Brian Samukai, who was convicted? That's the question. So I'll get a little bit of background. Who is this Brian Samukai? Probably Brian Samukai. Probably don't know him. A little bit of history of him was he's a Brian Jeffrey Samukai Jr. He's a Liberian politician, security officer who served as Minister of Defense under Madam Ellen Joshua Sirleaf from 2006 to 2018. And he also held many senior security positions, including Deputy Minister for Defense for Operations, Director of Liberian National Police, Deputy Minister of State for Administration. Now, the Supreme Court of Liberia held a lower court decision ruling against Samukai and his two co-defendants, sentencing them to 2 years in prison for misapplication of US $1.1 million intended for the armed forces of Liberia. And this one was for soldiers' pension. There was a pension deduction and stuff like that. So the lower court ruled that the prison term should be suspended if the convicts, Mr. Samukai and his two of the co-defendants, if they could restitute 50% of the fund. I mean, pay back 50% of the money. 6 months. If it could be made in 6 months, pay back 50% in 6 months. Then what happened? That they will let them out of prison. No, but then Mr. Samukai could not do that. 50% of the money could not be paid in 6 month periods. So Samukai was he became 2020. He became a interior candidate for Lofa County. And he was legally challenged due to the conviction. I mean, guys, I'll come and ask. There's something that happened. I want to pick you on this case. And I think I want to say, Alex, thank you for bringing this up. The Supreme Court later ordered his incarceration. Because he did not pay the money, they asked him to go back to jail. He didn't pay the 50%. Then when he went to jail, came leadership of President George Weah, who won the election. In 2 years, Samuka petition is granting him executive clemency. That means letting him out because the president got the power to let you out if he wants to. So you want to do that benefited from executive clemency for President George Weah when you have to spend 2 years and pay $1.1 million for the military funds. He did. Yeah, I don't know what he did with the money. $1.1 million was given to him for the pension of the military officer of Liberia when the Minister of Defense he misapplied the money according to the report. Then President Baga came again. Later on, he could not become a senator because they added to him he was not qualified because he's convicted of financial criminal charges. So he could not become senator all over when he won the seat. That's one good thing. Liberian Bush, that one of the best thing that happened on Ellen. And honor Ellen with George Weah time, they do not allow him to run for the office. Then President Boaka now recently appointed executive chairperson for coordinating committee overseeing Liberian Yellow Machine infrastructure program. So now, in short, he's a significant but controversial figure, a former defense minister convicted of misusing military funds. Yeah, he remained politically active and was rehabilitated under successful administration. Gentlemen, the question is, let me put this thing. I think that Paul will come back. The lower courts ruled that he was acting at the time. He was defense minister at the time, was he? When he was convicted, was he?
No.
Because let's get this straight. Because under Ellen spent 12 years. Sorry for the Mark Granny here, guys. Under Ellen, I think I had some technical problem. I'm sorry for the granny with the Mark. Linford, take it from your Paul. I'm going to make the correction.
Okay, yeah. For this Brani Samuka thing, for me, I don't want to dwell on it much because number one, Brani Samuka served some jail sentences. That doesn't mean that he was exempted. He agreed. He made concession that he made stipulation rather that he was going to pay some of the money.
50%.
Yeah, and then there will be monthly deduction. I don't know how well he's keeping all with that promise. That I can't confirm. But I think it was a mutual understanding. And so his appointment by the president was, I don't know how the president saw it, but probably the president accommodated him, appointed him so that he would be able to work and pay back his money. I don't know, because he already made commitment.
No, listen. Let me get this straight here. You're supposed to, I'll guide you, got chance. Let me get a lady. No, you're probably missing some information I'll give to you. He failed to pay. The court said to him, if you restitute 50% of the $1.1 million, we'll let you off. You don't pay any money, you're free to go. He couldn't pay. They brought him back to jail. Then came George Weah leadership. Because he was serving 2 years jail. George Weah said, all right, you can't pay everything. I will grant him executive clemency. They let him out. So he's free. He's not paying any money. He's gone. You don't pay any money to anybody. Don't get it right.
Okay, yeah, he got.
So now I want to get the information to you. He out. So now, with that conviction, with that public record, that's what people are raising. Now the president put in there as the head of the committee, chair of the committee overseeing that bring yellow machine. The president bringing in. Why would we give a convicted criminal a job to oversee trusted position?
Yeah, okay,
that's the question.
Then here I will come in his defense. Number one, yes, he was convicted. He served term. The president gave him clemency, and then he became a free man. So why hold him still? I mean, he's a free man. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think he can work. He can live like any other man. He's free.
Now the point is still hard to say. I'll probably leave here and go to Francis. Francis says only Paul want to say something quick. Paul is falling with information right now. Francis, what you got to say? About you're one of your former bosses, right? You work with him, didn't you?
Yeah.
The colleague, I think your colleague, your friend, your good friend, I think.
Amazing.
He was also my friend. We all did our martial art together.
Okay.
My boss. But the thing is, look, I think the president, we are softening the ground for Mr. Samuka. Was granted a second, clemency. He was pardoned, so his rights were restored.
Okay.
And
Criminal record erased.
Erased.
Boy, you hear that?
You know. So yeah, if we did not do that, yeah, then we have a question, But again, it's Liberia, some of these things, people in advance, society, the hours where we live in, people don't want to go for the jobs anymore. We first, stay in the back or, working in the private. But no, it's all about politics and, the disregard for our own integrity. So yeah, so that's the reason why he's there. So that's all I can actually say.
So you do believe that his records erased, performer records, all archive erased after 2 years? No, we shouldn't consider anymore. It does not exist. Give him trust the position. That's what you're saying, Francis and Linford.
No, I just said to you that look, in a society like where we live, like ours, where we live in the West, Europe and America, people who were once convicted will now want to accept public jobs. They'll probably go in the private sector or probably work with some think tank, institution. But it is, the president, as I stated, president, we are sucking the ground for the man. Because all politics, we thought, about giving the guy, granting, what you call it, clemency with, giving votes in Lofa and in Nima, because his mother come from Nima. And from Lofa.
No, he's from Lufa.
What are you talking about, man?
Granny Samoka?
He met mother from Nima. His mother from Nima, his father from Lofa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Linford,
let Paul speak, then you will come back. Let Linford speak, please. Let you will come back.
Paul will take over from me. I know what Paul wants to say. I know
what Paul, okay, you can read somebody. He can read your mind now. Tell me, okay, you go on.
Yeah, but let me tell you. You see, with the Granny Samoka thing, something we got to also consider. Granny Samoka had an escape route. In the case, number one, he said he was instructed by the former president to use this money. So he didn't directly take this money and use it on his own. So I think this is where the former president of Leah came out to soften the ground for him using Francis's war. Okay, yeah, after softening the ground for him, and then he became free man. So you get that, and I'm not backing him, but they laid the framework that this guy will go as a free man, even though he used the money, but he used that money, but how did he use it? Did he steal it? Did he, actually criminally take it to use it? That's something we got to look at. So I think he's a free man. At the end of the day, he's a free man. So he can be appointed and whatever.
But leave for taking that back because you're like for karate, the United Party, man. Only man, because someone else from United Party, you beat it. That man should be in jail. You shouldn't get a position.
The thing is, Paul, let's say something. I want to go back to something here to look into, guys. Go on, Paul, say something quickly.
Selective. But, gentlemen, I just want to refer you to a very famous book writer called Jeffrey Asher. He was one-time MP in the British Parliament, and he took money for ushering. He was convicted. He went to prison. He came back, killed his political career. Today, nobody wants to even sit on the table with a convicted criminal. In Liberia, Bama Samuka said he took instruction from Eddie. But if he took instruction from Eddie, why would he pay back the money? He used it. He used the money, so he was a convicted criminal. So in a normal country of convicted criminal, you cannot reward them with another high-profile job that will handle serious budget. This guy is now requesting for $51 million for
55
for the yellow machine project. So who tell you that he may not tamper with that money again? I think it's just wrong. He shouldn't be in any public space to handle any serious money. This guy should be sitting now in 4 years or other places making his own restaurant and just forget public funds.
But don't you think he had learned his lesson? That even if he get new money
Papa,
now, some money he will not misuse it.
They have a saying, Linford, your past
Predict the
behavior
future.
determine your present behavior. Once a thief,
It is coming students.
So this is the thing.
Labrador deserve better. Labrador deserve better. Gentlemen, I want to take the time to go to welcome Lucretia Nelson, Alexander Clark Cummings, Paul Cholo Blake, Christian Pugh, Philip Clark. What's the name? I just a couple of names I have here. I got Joseph Konto, Tuan Gued, Musa Kamara, many more. So that's what I can see. I want to say a big thank you. We want to also make sure that you always subscribe to us. We come on Tuesday and Fridays every weekend. On the weekend, we have the Mr. Francis Monomensa with the story. We also have on Sunday, we got the Audience with Lord Children. Quite interesting 2 podcasts we have. Quite interesting, 2 different podcasts. Very interesting. Don't miss it. Always be there. But gentlemen, quick question. I want to take this around. This is one of the things. Yemi Kwekwe Bese was a criminal C, code C. He convicted Brian Samika. Now he's at the head of the Supreme Court right now. Now, this is one of the cases in Liberia that was held. And I've never seen any case of such in my lifetime in Liberia where the Supreme Court say the decision of the lower court must be held. So can we give at least a credit to the court for this? Because it never happened before. If it happened, you guys probably inform me. Where the lower court came up with a decision on the Yemen basis, I tell you what the criminal court C, he rendered this decision that some guys should pay the 1.1 million or pay 50%, then you'll be off for 2 years, then you go. But then when he argued it, the Supreme Court, they took the case to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, no, we'll be taking that decision, it will be me. So what's another applause for the judicial system in Liberia, gentlemen? I want you to take a round on this, then we can take our last bite and say a wonderful weekend. Paul?
But Jamal, they can do something good and then they do something crazy. That's the thing with them.
Let's agree, what's a good thing first? Now this guy, because we didn't know about the 1.1 million, and this case was brought to our attention, and the court, held up to the decision. They said, well, go for it, we're not going to change it. Like many cases of, look at $6.1 million going away in the breeze. You saw that happening.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They always do something good and then they do something crazy. And the crazy net can just overshadow the good thing they will do. You see, that's the situation they face with. Imagine, this is the same Supreme Court that somebody will go after their man. They will not sue the person. They will take the law into their hand. They become the judge, the juror, and then the prosecutor. That the person will have no room to appeal anywhere. So you see, the good thing, then the bad thing overshadow the good thing. That's what we got.
All right, guys. What do you think? Can we give credit to the judicial system, Francis? Like they withheld the decision of the lower court for the $1.1 million case against Brian Samuka that he should pay. I didn't see that happening and happen. Can we applaud them for that decision?
I only applaud that court because that court lack at the time they lack independence.
Okay.
They were partial. The basic man was he was flirting with the CDC government. He was up and down. All the cases that were brought against the CDC was thrown out of the court. Cases that were brought, for the CDC. They were prosecuted and people were convicted. So I wouldn't give them any kind of thumbs up, because they were very partial. They did not dispense justice, with fairness.
Okay, Leif, I think you could trust the coach for that decision this time. You think so?
Uh, what I would say is that, look, let me tell you, in life, you always have the good and the bad. And I wonder how the judges, when they go to study, how they position their mind after their studies, and then they go into practice their profession. How they position their mind. I did a little bit of maritime law, so I know how law operates. No, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you, there will always be two sides. Every time a case goes to court, if the court rules in your favor, oh, that's a very good court. Oh yeah, man, the judge is good. If the judge rules against you, you become, because every party that goes to court, they always hold on to something that they think make them right. Okay, so if the case goes against you, yeah, you may not agree on the judgment, and then you think the case is that good. But if the rules in your favor, whether you know that you were wrong, but at least the rule in your favor, you think that that's a good case and no court. So I will not outrightly condemn court. I feel that the court goes by the law. I'm not a law student. So we depend on the court to dispense justice for us. So the court has their own criteria. They look at one simple mistake. One simple mistake. You go to the doctor, you say, the doctor asks you, what part of your head? You know that stomach head, you say that my head. Okay, the doctor gave you medicine, you go home, you stay, you say. So that your simple mistake make the doctor give you the wrong medicine. Then you say the doctor not good. So we are not lawyers. We'll go to court during the judgment. Maybe we'll make mistake, and then the case goes against us. Then we bring the court. But that thing, the court goes by law. And I will anywhere in the world, I will say respect the judicial system. So that's it. Because I'm not
Thank
a
you very
lawyer.
much.
I'm not a law student.
I think we've done justice to the question for one of our listeners. The case of why convicted Brian Samika was appointed as head of the chairperson of the steering committee of the Yellow Machine. It's a project like we call Yellow Machine Project. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. 1 minute on each, or 3 seconds each. 5 seconds. I'll give you to give me a parting comment, then we can wrap up for the day. Linfo.
Okay, my parting comment would be that why is it that since the Yellow Machine scheme, we have not heard anything about it? Are they keeping them for political reason? Because 2029 or 2028, they will start to distribute. I know they allocated it, right? They said certain countries will get certain amount. But since then, we hear nothing here. We know what's going on. And I saw some, in fact, the president took someone, I know which company airplane to go to Lufa. By this time, the road leading to Lufa should be set as a sample for bringing this Yellow Machine. But the president flying to Lufa, and the roads are very bad. So why are they keeping the Yellow Machine? That's the only question I want to leave with the government. Why are they keeping the Yellow Machine? For political purposes?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take Paul then Linfo. Quick 3 seconds, Paul. Then last person will be Francis. 3 seconds, Paul. Go on.
Well, thank you. And I want to say thanks to our audience for being with us tonight. I think it was a great discussion. One of my parting comment would be, join me tomorrow in celebration of my beloved team Arsenal to live for the UEFA Champions League trophy for the first time in the history of the
championships.
And for those Man United fans on the platform, I hope you'll join in solidarity with us tomorrow. And on Sunday, there'll be 1 million people marching in North London to celebrate Arsenal 22 years of getting a trophy and being a
Thank
champion.
you very much. 3 seconds is gone.
Right.
Thank you. Good luck. Success to Arsenal. Francis.
I mean, I'll just say poor.
Yeah, poor Francis. Poor Francis, he's suffering.
All right, guys.
Man.
Thank you very much. Okay, I want to say a big thank you to all our followers. If you're not following, please. It's a big reminder here. Please, tomorrow, I don't know. Francis, come here tomorrow. Are you?
Yeah, come tomorrow. I mean,
Tomorrow, your story will be here. Please don't forget to join. Subscribe to your story will be here. Very, very quite moving, human interest story. Your story will be hosted by Francis Monomensa tomorrow, European time. That's 8 o'clock. Don't forget, join it. It will be a good conversation. Come and let's share your story. On Sunday will be the Lord Portugal. I don't know when you're going to be here. You'll be in London marching, but we'll see. Some Paul will be here on Sunday to do the audience with the Lord Children. We may have the proxy host here for Paul, but let's join you tomorrow on Sunday. The audience with the Lord Paul Children will be on Sunday as well. We got this year, 2026, got interesting story coming on the Borderline. I want to say a big thank you to all our followers. We couldn't call your name tonight because we don't have that much time. But thank you for sharing, being there for us from the start of the show. We want to be love you. Have a wonderful weekend, and we want to say take care and ciao. Salam.